just so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, nobody made us, and no one can take this cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people, don't mess with this.
Yeah, here we are. It is Patrick and the people, and it's Tuesday. We know what that means is that in the house we've got the Bundinator.
Yeah, the Bundrick. I like that.
We got
I
Bundy
like
in the
that. I'll
house
take that.
from Bundy Electric. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, doing good. We're gonna have Miss Bundinator in here later.
Yeah, we are, man. I'm very
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
about that. I've got some health stuff that I want to talk to her
Yeah.
about because that's what she's
Gonna whip you
focused
into
on.
shape, yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I'm super actually excited about it. And of course, Rich Rockwell is in the house.
Yes,
Rich
sir.
One Fall. What's up, sir?
Good
One
morning.
fall.
How you doing?
One
fall.
fall.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're also live on Clapper this morning. That's a new social media outlet that we're on. So very excited. What up, Clapper?
What up, Clapper?
Sorry, I had to
Go
look
check it
over
out.
at
It's
the
pretty
other
cool.
camera. But yeah, check it out there.
Come get clapped.
So how about that bracket, man?
Man, Patrick's killing everybody. He's in first place. First place. I held it
I don't
for the
know
first
how.
day.
I have
maybe.
no idea. It's pure
Yeah,
luck.
let me
It's
look
like going
here.
to the horses or to the races and picking horses by name
Yeah.
and actually winning something. You're like, what? What's going on? It shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
You know?
let's see. Patrick's in first. Scotty Nuggs second. Jordan third. Me fourth. Chad and Kristen bringing up fifth and
Yeah,
sixth.
yeah. Well, Kristen probably did pick by colors.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, by
right.
name. Oh, I like that name. Yeah, the Orangeman. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Huh?
I was just sitting here a minute ago going, oh, where'd my phone go? I don't have my phone. Dude, we're streaming live on
Oh,
Clapper.
yeah. There's your phone right there, buddy. You trying to get a text? Oh, so what's been going on with your week, buddy?
Man, watching basketball, of course, and then we went up to Cotter, Arkansas this last weekend.
Cotter?
Cotter, yeah.
Cotter?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Trout capital of the world.
Is it really?
Yeah, we didn't do any fishing, but we spent some time on the
You
river
just
there.
looked at trout.
Yeah.
What's that trout?
Yeah, but just enjoyed the weekend and
Did you
back in-
float or just sit by
No,
the river?
no.
Okay, just hung out.
taking it in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope, man. You had a good time, though.
Yeah, good time, good
Man,
relaxing
you like to
weekend.
get out in nature a lot.
Yeah, I do.
your-
It's
that's
good.
your
It's
bag.
good. It's good. It helps me stay balanced. You know,
Yeah,
if you're in the city of Little Rock 5 days a week, you need some balance in there, dude.
You know,
go crazy.
It's amazing how many mental health professionals encourage people just to get outside to
Yeah.
change the way they feel, to overcome depression, things like that.
100%.
Just get out, take walks. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but
No, getting sun on your face.
But there is something to it,
The simple
you know.
shit.
yeah, there's something to that, isn't there?
100%.
But
At least for me, anyway.
But then every time I go outside and deal with people, you know what? I should have just stayed in.
Well, you can go where the people aren't. You know, that's,
Yeah, no, that's another good thing about nature.
Yeah,
There's hardly anybody out there.
Yeah, normally nobody's out there with you, you know. So, yeah, man. What's been going on with your week, man?
Man, it's been a busy weekend. I had announcing both Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, yeah, both days.
Yeah, yep. So a whole weekend of it. Yeah.
I saw everybody loving up on your page about your suit. man.
Yeah, man, they were all.
Like you're like voted best dressed man in Arkansas this weekend, I think.
It surprised me. I was like, y'all know this
They
is
like
a
that.
normal weekend,
Right.
Well, clearly they don't.
Yeah, apparently not.
No, they think you should be in a suit all the time.
Yeah, they want me to wear it here, and I was like, oh,
I don't know, man. You know, it's a little early in the morning.
I was about to
for a
say
suit.
4:30.
Seriously, I got to get up and
Yeah.
tie a tie, and
No, that's a lot. Isn't it?
barely lucky to stumble out the door without injuring myself.
I know that's right. All right. Well, let's move on here and get you a little news that you can use. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Hold on.
That sounds like
There
a
we go.
segment.
Yeah.
There we go.
News you can use.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Genetics testing company 23andMe has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy following difficult years after going public. They've always been known for their test kits that offer customers a look into their genetic ancestry. And it's seen its market capitalization plummet 99% from a peak of $6 billion after it failed to turn a profit. So experts are advising users delete all data from the site to protect your privacy.
What a bummer.
Right?
Didn't they have a data breach like forever ago though?
Yeah,
And
they did.
yeah, that's like kind of
But everything's a data breach now. I just changed a password like a week ago on my one of my things.
Yeah.
And I logged in yesterday, and it's like, this password's been hacked. I'm like, man, screw you. How many times can I change it, man?
Right,
And if
right.
y'all are that good, just take whatever. You want to look at my social medias, go ahead.
Your Google search history. Yeah.
Amazon's having a 3 for the price of 2 sale on hundreds of vinyl and Blu-ray titles. Vinyl I kind of get. Blu-ray's a little surprising. To participate in that, you just add 3 items to your cart that qualify. The cost of the lowest price item will be removed at checkout. Some of the promotional items include albums by SZA, The Beatles, Chappell Rowan, Tyler the Creator, and more. Blu-ray movies like Blade Runner, The Final Cut, Seven, The Substance, movies that you could just watch on any cable or Roku.
Well, you need the physical media.
Yeah, if you want that Blu-ray, because you want the the cut scenes and the director's
you remember
commentary.
when Blu-ray was like the coup
Oh,
de grace?
hell
You
yeah,
had
it was.
regular DVD and you had Blu-ray for like $37.
Yeah.
The regular DVD was $20, Blu-ray was like
No,
$55.
if you had a Blu-ray, you were dope.
Oh, dude, come on.
Yeah, no. Let's see what else is going on here. A North Carolina man decided to get creative in dealing with a bear that keeps coming into his backyard. The Asheville man donned a mascot-like bear costume and approached the bear while trying to growl. The real bear did get spooked and took off, but not before staring the man down. It did work this time, but they do encourage you, don't put on a mascot costume and approach a bear. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah, he got lucky.
No, he got very lucky. It might have been the right kind of male bear who didn't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He could have had that ass beat in a mascot costume, man. That'd be
That would have
embarrassing.
made it so much worse.
Oh, my God, yeah, it would. Wildfires continue to burn in western North Carolina. 3 big fires burning in Polk County, at least 5,700 acres gone, several buildings destroyed. Firefighting effort hampered by leftover damage from Hurricane Helene, with debris remaining in forest and some roads. Yeah, the debris is probably a big part of the cause. Yeah.
Man, those wildfires
I
are
was
no
about
joke.
to say, all those wildfires that were popping up around here the other
That was a
last week.
trip, wasn't it?
Dude, matter of fact, I saw one break out in a big pasture. I was in Hattieville, Arkansas yesterday.
Yeah?
It's out there kind of by Morrilton and
I
Birdtown.
gotcha.
And I go down this long dirt road, go to an electrical job, check something out, and I see some smoke, and I'm like, you can see for miles. It's like, man, there's no fire trucks down there. I guess it's okay, whatever they're doing. I wasn't there 10 minutes, and here they all come in water
Oh,
trucks.
really?
Yeah, it started small and just started to spread, the wind and
That's wild.
that dry pasture.
I thought maybe you just went a little crazy with your flamethrower.
No,
Yeah, that's what it was.
Dude, I actually felt bad but the day before Little Rock got all those fires, I'm making jokes about setting fires and having the fire
Right,
department
you
call
are.
on me, and then
That's
next
why
thing
you're
I'm
the
like,
number one suspect.
Yeah, everybody's shit burns down. They're like, hey, the guy that just bought the flamethrower
Did
for
you watch
$30.
Patrick and the People yesterday? Yeah.
Oh, I'm incriminating myself daily.
Right. As a matter of fact, sometimes crime doesn't pay. A Florida woman is in jail after she allegedly robbery she committed was a bust. Allison Fetting walked into a Dairy Queen brandishing a gun and demanding money. Instead of taking cash from the register, she took the tip jar, which had $1.50 in it.
Wow.
The robbery happened last year, but she was booked into jail Friday. She has a record of robbery, both being found guilty and accused of other heists in the area. $1.50.
I know. Do you need a gun for that? You just walk in there and grab
Just
it.
grab it and walk away. Who's going to fight you over that $1.50? Like, no, I'm not doing that.
I like how she got picked up about a year later.
Right? Yeah, it
For
took a while, didn't
Wow.
it? Yeah, it took a little while.
They were all just sitting around. Well, we ain't got nothing to do today. Let's
gotta
go
make
pick up
quota.
that person made off
Well-
with $1.50.
A Michigan man who won $500 playing the number 666 in Daily 3 lottery drawing
Hell yeah.
used 100 of it to buy fast cash tickets and wound up with $2.39 million.
Hell yeah, that's what you can do when the
Yeah.
devil's on your side.
That's right. That's right. He told the Michigan lottery officials his luck began with the $500, bought $100 worth of jackpot slot millionaire tickets, and he said as soon as he ended it, I ran my eyes over him to see if I'd won anything. I was shocked to see I'd hit the jackpot for $2.39 million.
Hell yeah.
Man, I'd have to look at that thing 500 times.
Right.
Going, am I seeing this right? It can't be right, right?
Dude, my worst fear has always been like losing one because I lose shit like that.
Oh,
Small.
yeah.
Mike Epps did an old movie with
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was
All about
called.
the Benjamin.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, won a lottery ticket, lost it, couldn't find it, and that would be me, dude. I lose shit so much.
no.
Like, yeah, that's my worst fear.
Let's see. Attacks on Tesla facilities continue by idiots around the country, with multiple incendiary devices discovered at a Tesla dealership in Austin, Texas yesterday. The police department responded to reports of suspicious items about 8 a.m., called the bomb squad. They, deactivated them with no incident. They've established a task force to investigate these. They are labeling it domestic terrorism. There have been at least 50 incidents targeting Tesla properties across 9 states. It's just the dumbest thing.
It is, man.
It's like the dumbest protest in the history of the world.
Right.
Man. I swear to God, I mean, it's like you're not hurting anyone but your own neighbors.
Right, for real.
Yeah. I mean, these people probably, to be honest with you, are on your side of the equation. When they bought their Tesla, Elon was a hero. They might even be embarrassed. I don't know.
Dude, I was telling Jamie just the other day, I feel like it's changed just in a couple of months.
I know, right?
Just in a couple of months.
Listen, I saw a guy yesterday driving when I was coming in, and he had or I was going home actually. He had a Tesla, one of the Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, how has his life changed in the last 60 days? Because, I mean, he was the dude, everybody was like checking his truck out.
Right,
It was like, oh, that's cool, man, or whatever.
Nobody said that's cool.
Well, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But nobody said, I'm going to light your shit on fire either.
Yeah.
And now every time he parks, he has to worry, is somebody going to blow his stuff up or light it on fire, deface it?
And I mean, just like in general, 2 months ago, generally, if you were on the left, you didn't hate the Tesla truck, but you were for, electric vehicles.
Well,
more or
sure.
less. And if you were on the right, you didn't really like the Tesla truck, and and now it's like completely swapped. I feel like people on the left are like, screw the Tesla truck.
You almost have to look at Elon Musk like the Henry Ford of electric cars.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, he's the guy that put them into America's consciousness. He's the guy who started mass producing them before anyone else.
And I've heard this, I don't know 100% on it, but almost all Tesla production is done in the country, in the U.S. And so it's like, you're hurting an American company with American employees.
That's
it's like,
right.
You know what I mean?
And your own neighbor driving the truck, right?
Exactly.
Let's see. President Trump has changed course in his process of choosing a new head of the CDC. He withdrew the nomination of Dr. Dave Weldon. He's a physician. And now nominated Dr. Susan Monterez, the current acting director of the CDC, to serve as the permanent director. Monterez has been the acting director since January, previously served as deputy director of the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health. Seems pretty sharp, has a PhD in microbiology and immunology from University of Wisconsin-Madison, and trained at Stanford postdoctorate, so that's pretty good. The United Nations announced plans yesterday to reduce its staff presence in the Gaza Strip after an Israeli tank strike hit a UN compound. The attack was part of an intensified Israeli military operation targeting Hamas, which led to significant casualties and whatnot. Let's see. Oh, man, no good deed goes unpunished by Mother Nature, apparently. On March 24th, 2023, an EF4 destroyed the town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi. On Sunday, 1 day short of being exactly 2 years later, another tornado touched down in the town. This one only caused damage to one building, fortunately, but, man, that's wild, Of course, we see that in Arkansas.
It's pretty regular.
We've had cities that have been regularly visited annually by tornadoes.
I don't know which one it was, but I saw a picture on Facebook when I was scrolling through yesterday. There was a path of tornadoes where they had literally crossed paths in someone's yard. Like this tornado came this way, and this tornado went that way. Both
And they had it on
through
video?
the same spot. Yeah. Like the two different tornadoes.
That's
It's
wild right there.
Have to
I
see
wonder
if
if
I
they
can
were
find it.
twin vortices or if they were different tornadoes.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's still crazy.
It was just
Insurance on
crazy.
that
I was
house.
like,
Who's
dude,
filming it?
Right, your same spot gets hit by two different tornadoes.
How close
like,
are you? I want to know. This is a good story. Well, it ends well. How about that? The ending is good. A few weeks ago, during a routine traffic stop, a Kansas Highway Patrol trooper rescued a 6-year-old girl. She had been reported kidnapped. Trooper pulled over an SUV for a traffic violation, noticed a young girl with 2 adult men. They investigated, discovered the front seat passenger had an outstanding warrant for kidnapping the child a month earlier. The vehicle's driver also had a criminal history, including convictions for homicide, weapons violations. The sheriff's deputy assisted both men taken into custody. Initially, the girl gave a false name and birth date, having been coached by her captors, but the trooper talked to her and eventually got her real name and confirmed she was the victim of the active kidnapping case. So that's good. That's
yeah.
like
Good on
to hear.
them.
Yeah. Days after giving birth, Anna Neve, her newborn, her own mom, were rescued from a house fire in Norris Springs, Iowa, by a 17-year-old passerby. Jackson Ott was working with his dad, saw smoke driving by, kicked in the home's front door, warned the family in time for them to escape unharmed.
Hell yeah.
Their home was completely destroyed, but they were safe and grateful for his quick
I was
action.
about to say, good on that dude, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. And then over winter break, students at Imagine Coolidge Elementary, that's in Arizona, completed a challenge to solve 1 million math problems. Their principal, Eric Collins, promised he'd spend the night on the school's roof if they achieved their goal, and last Thursday night he did it. After spending the night on the roof under the open desert sky, the next morning he greeted students as they arrived at school. So that's cool. At least he did what he said he would.
Right.
You know.
Did they force them to do it with Common Core and showing their work and everything?
Yeah. I'm sure, yeah.
About 2 problems in, I've been like, screw it, it's not that big of a deal.
767 new riffs. Is that a lot? It sounds like a lot. Kirk Hammett of Metallica has announced he's working on his debut solo album, describing it as a fusion of all sorts. The project is his first full-length solo album following a 2022 instrumental EP, Portals. The upcoming album expected to feature vocal tracks, show off a broader range of his influences. He says he's accumulated 767 new riffs for Metallica's next album. When is that coming out? He doesn't see the band starting to work on it for at least another year, so he's got time to round that out to 1,000, right? Interestingly enough, Evanescence set to release a new single this Friday, Afterlife.
Nice.
A lyric video for the track will premiere Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, featuring exclusive clips from an upcoming animated series on Netflix, Devil May Cry, series based on the video game from Capcom. The animated series scheduled to be released next Wednesday, April 3rd. A young man in Russia hospitalized after he did 2,000 squats to win a bet with a friend. Wow, man, 2,000. That's a lot of squats.
I guess just like body weight squats.
Yeah, following the challenge, he experienced severe leg pain, swelling, dark brown urine, eventually being unable to pee.
Oh my gosh.
Doctors diagnosed him with a condition where muscle tissue breaks down and enters the bloodstream, leading to kidney failure. Yeah, he overexerted far and away there.
Ask my wife about that. I've never even heard
No, I haven't either, man.
That's wild.
That is wild.
This is why I choose to just stay fat.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I feel like my knees would explode after doing
Oh my
2,000
God! No, I
squats.
couldn't get. I don't know about 200.
Yeah.
With 16 teams remaining in the bracket, and only one number 2 seed taken down, the sports books see the remainder of the tournament playing out this way. Your favorites: number 1 Duke, followed by Florida, Houston and Auburn, Tennessee, Texas Tech, Alabama, and Michigan State. Are you shocked Arkansas is not in that top 5 or 6 to win it all?
No, I'm not shocked, man. I
Of course
was,
you're not.
Yeah, no, I was happy that we made it to the tournament. I mean, we barely
No, we
got
squeaked
in,
in.
dude. We squeaked
No, we
in.
had a terrible season, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we were 0-5 to start. We were terrible in conference, really.
Had
But-
the fewest points we've ever scored in a half, ever.
But you do have Calipari, who
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
legend and knows how to do it, and they're
I
playing
thought-
team ball.
I thought that was a good standard for him, though. Let's just get to the first round of the tournament. For his first year, he's starting with all new guys. I just want to make it to the tournament. So the past 2 wins for me have just
been gravy.
Yeah, just a plus.
Well, I was surprised by Kansas. I was shocked by St. John's.
yeah,
That one really shocked me because they were number 2, and a lot of people predicted they might go all the way.
Right. Yeah, we were getting shut down in the first half. Kansas, we'd already beat them at the beginning of the season in a pretty good win. So I was confident against Kansas. I thought we might lose out against St. John's. I kept them in the bracket, but I think we'll go out against Florida. I think we got a good chance against Tech.
You think we might beat Texas
Yeah,
Tech?
I think so.
The Red Raiders, assuming that's who we're. Is that?
Yeah,
sure who
no,
we're
that's
playing now?
definitively who we're playing. Yeah.
I think they're vulnerable. In their past couple games, they've shown they're a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, it'll be the winner of Auburn and Michigan.
So what I think that Calipari's doing well here is much like San Antonio used to be, or the Utah Jazz and their epic runs. They're very unselfish. The way he's got it, there's no star. It's everybody.
Yeah,
is
100%.
shooting. Everybody's
100%.
passing. Everybody's, playing, moving without the ball. That's what will work. And that's why that zone hurt them so much in the beginning.
Exactly.
But they did overcome that.
Yeah. They just had to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah. Did you see where that who was it? The manager of that one team that's blown up on social media has got NIL deals coming out. He's already in the transfer.
Yeah.
I think
He's
they
like,
offered
"I'm
him. Well, yeah. I mean, but good for him. That's a kid who ordinarily, wouldn't get that kind of money.
Yeah,
anyway.
100%. Yeah,
And
5
so-
years ago that wouldn't have happened.
That's right. So to stand out like that and get NIL money, I think is dope.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I think it encourages other teams to have people, involved who aren't the traditional athletes, and that's a good thing.
I was talking with some friends about it the other day, and they were talking about, college kids wanting to go to NBA.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if I'm those kids, I'm not even thinking about
Well,
NBA.
I mean, if I've got an NIL deal, why would I at the moment? I'll get there. I know it's big money, but right now, man, I mean, if I can earn money and stay at the college level,
and you think
I've got much more success.
it's a little less overwhelming, to be a
It's a
star
lot less overwhelming.
to be a star of your state than to be put on a world stage in the NBA.
Look, it's just like the NFL. I mean, no matter how good you are, when you show up, these aren't
right.
The disparity in college ball. A lot of it is due to some teams have amazing talent and some don't.
Right.
But when you get to the NFL, everybody there is the very best that was ever in college or anywhere else.
That's why they're there.
Yeah. Round 3 tips off Thursday. As far as the first 2 rounds, a lot of fans looking back felt it fell short of March Madness hype and excitement. But I don't really feel that way at all.
Oh, man, there's been some great games.
I
loved it.
I know that they said that some of the wins were the highest. The average point spread was the highest. But really, even when you look at those games, most of them, the lead didn't happen until the last minutes of the game.
Well, and I think, they know that people love the upset, so they try to make a couple. They'll give, 14 Lipscomb to number 3 Iowa State.
Right.
Because it's March. You don't know what's going to happen,
No,
what I mean?
just
they
like you
try
didn't know with Arkansas.
Exactly.
Or
but some of those games go exactly how you think they're going to, and they win by
That's right.
15, 20 points.
That's right.
But that's just part of it.
But I think, too, part of that is there's so many great teams in the NCAA this year. I think the Sweet 16 is going to be the opposite. I think these games might have the closest margins of any time ever.
Yeah, I think you're dead on.
Because I think these teams are paired up right. I think it's going to be a battle. I don't think any of them really are a gimme.
Yeah, Auburn, Michigan, Duke, Arizona, BYU, Alabama, Ole Miss, Michigan, all going to be close games.
Yeah, which one of them is a guarantee that in your mind? Is there anyone that's going to absolutely, you're like, no question they win?
I would take, my best bet would be Kentucky over Tennessee.
Okay, but that's again, even that is a because Tennessee's played pretty damn well.
Yeah.
So again, I can't say, hey, they're going to beat their ass. I can say they might win, but these games are going to be close. I think.
Yeah, it's fun. I love this time of year, man.
No, it's always exciting with March Madness and all that going on. All right, so let's just talk a little baseball here. The odds going into opening day even though the Dodgers and Cubs technically started the season, the real opening day is Thursday. And so the favorites, the Dodgers, Braves, Yankees, Phillies, Mets, Astros, Orioles, and Red Sox. Only one of those teams, by the way, has a payroll under $150 million going into the season.
Jeez.
That's a lot of money. All right, so if you're inclined to place bets on what Aaron Rodgers will be doing this upcoming season, with options waning, smart money, the Steelers.
Yeah.
The Vikings and Giants off the table. An NFL insider said it's a safe bet. The deal between the Steelers and Rodgers is imminent when you consider last week's report that interest in having the future Hall of Famer in the broadcast booth is minimal at best. They just don't want him in the broadcast booth. Why do you think that is, man?
Really just because the media tour is kind of done the last year with Pat McAfee and all that. I think he would change his verbiage if he was an announcer, but I think that's put a lot of people off. You know, that was one of the biggest things Woody Johnson, owner of the Jets, didn't like. They said, hey, you got to quit going on Pat McAfee every Monday.
Yeah.
We don't like you getting on there talking that shit. And
Yeah.
he said, no, I don't. No, I'm going to keep going.
And what was he talking shit about?
I mean, he wasn't even necessarily talking shit. It was just a very unfiltered. Yeah, you know, there was no. They're like, hey, we want to keep some of that behind the curtain. And he's like,
Let's not talk about all your ayahuasca and tripping.
Exactly.
And whatnot.
I'm just kind of bullshitting with my friends. That's
Right.
kind of how he took it. And
So he said, hey, you're
think
not
that
going to
just
tell
put
me
some
what to do.
people
I'm
off.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what the people are saying.
They're saying a lot this morning.
Well, what are they saying, man?
Well, let's see. You got a little doggy, I think. Let me scroll back up here. He started us off with a nice little, morning affirmation,
Oh, did he?
encouragement thing. Says, today's your day. Be your own MFer and not your own enemy. Stop doubting yourself and get into action. You're a badass. You got this. So,
That's good advice.
I
I
needed
appreciate that. Yeah, man.
That's a good start right there. That's good.
Latasha says she bought some lottery tickets the other day, but she don't know when they're being played. She's got to get online and check.
Yeah.
Lots of people saying, the way the Dems, like Little Doggy said, the way the Dems flipped on Tesla shows how full of it they were with the new Green Deal.
That wades into politics that I don't like. So I'm going to avoid that at all costs. But yeah, I'm going to let other people fight about that. You can make your own decisions. What's up, Luke Shoemaker?
Mikey
up,
G
dude?
says, "What's up from Dad's After Dark, man?" They had
What up,
on,
Mikey G?
They had on who was it? Hometown Strangers. They're a local band here around
Nice.
Arkansas, but they were on their podcast yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
It was a pretty good group, man.
Yeah, did they play or?
Yeah, they were playing live
Oh,
on
yeah?
their show and everything. Yeah.
What kind of music they do?
Man, it was just go check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think of the words. It's just
You just don't know how to. Well, that's good if they can't be defined like that.
right, yeah. That's
That's good, man. Brandon said they got to stop throwing up bricks. We're not building a house. Who is he talking about?
I guess Arkansas.
Arkansas?
guess, yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah. They made it past St. John's. So you can't ask much more than
Right.
that. Although, I know there are some people who think we should be in a championship hunt every year. You forget we're in Arkansas.
Yeah, and all freshmen.
Yeah, well,
freshmen.
it's not only that, but look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you're a college student, you're the best of the best as an athlete. Are you coming here or are you going to Florida?
Yeah,
Are you coming
exactly.
here or are you going to Alabama with a pedigree?
Ooh.
You know,
And
where are
it's
you going
like-
to go? And that's not a knock on us. Not as people or
Right.
even a community, but when you're 18 years old, 19 years old, you want to kick it.
Right.
You want nightlife. You want to have fun. Now, Fayetteville Rogers has come a long way, but it's still, there's no ocean there.
Right.
No matter how cool it is, there's no ocean. You understand? There's no bikinis unless you're at the pool.
Well, and it's like, there are so many, none of my family went to the University of Arkansas. We're the biggest Razorback fans in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're raised with that culture, then you want to go.
Yeah, well,
But if you're
absolutely.
not, then you're like,
You
I
don't
really
get it.
don't care to go to the University
No,
of
it's
Arkansas.
look,
Like,
I know this is sometimes it's annoying, even though I love us,
Right.
which is like when Dave Chappelle came, we went to his show.
Yeah, same.
And right in the middle, for whatever reason, people started calling the Hogs. He literally got his camera out and recorded it because it was so weird.
Right.
It's like
what
we
are
just
these?
break into this for no reason.
Right.
I'm like, nobody gets it except us, right? Nobody gets
It's our own inside
you
joke.
just start,
Yeah.
and can you imagine if you're Dave Chappelle and all of a sudden this whole audience starts going, ooh, you're like, oh no. Oh, hell
Get
no.
me the hell out of here.
Hell no.
Right. No, dude, people in Montana, they crack up at that. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're a whole state of people who don't go to college, but that's all we've got
Yeah.
is a university
I don't know
in
about
the
that, man.
Northwest to cheer for.
That's
You know,
funny, man.
like, half the people
Oh,
that cheer
you're
for the
right.
Razorbacks, half the people that cheer for the Razorbacks did
Oh,
not
more,
go to that university.
more.
Yeah, come on. Like, and I love all of us.
No,
I'm not
and
talking shit,
that's
you
the
know.
half that gets the maddest at things.
Yeah,
That's the half to go, I'm going to tell you something, Randy.
yeah,
Yeah, nobody cares what you got to say, man.
that was spot on, dude. That was spot on, dude.
Yeah, that's how it goes every time, man. Oh,
That was.
tell me about the Magnolia Dunk Beetles. I'll hang up and listen. No, I can't listen to those folks. Drive me crazy.
Yeah, I
man.
know some
mean,
people don't know who you're
listen,
talking about, but
that
that is
doesn't
spot
matter.
on. That's spot on.
No, it doesn't matter if they do or not. But I tried for probably when I was younger a little bit to listen to that, and those people just act. I'm like, we can't be in a championship run every
Right.
year. We're in Arkansas, bro. Own where
Just-
you are.
Exactly. Just
You know,
be realistic.
Yeah,
Just
be happy. Be
realistic.
happy if we get success. That's for sure, man.
We got a, I don't know what this is, from Twitch. I guess we stream on Twitch. We don't get many comments on Twitch, but we do stream on them. So
Yeah.
Anyway, somebody said they really enjoyed the little that they've watched so far. It's so cool. They really like what we're doing. And
Well, that's awesome,
So,
man.
hey,
Thank
yeah,
you.
hell yeah.
We really appreciate you checking us out.
Yeah.
That's really dope. And by the way, today we're on Clapper.
yeah,
That's right over here.
Figuring out
but
some
you
of those
can't see it,
comments
but
right
that's
now.
different.
I'm also streaming live on TikTok. So what's up,
Okay,
everybody
we're
on
everywhere
TikTok? And
today.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
So we got the comments.
Ashley
everywhere.
Shaw on Clapper said, "Thrilled to be a part of the community."
Thank you,
Awesome.
Ashley.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Appreciate
you're
that.
able to do that because I can't
Yeah.
see that.
No, you get your phone over there. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. Have you been injured? You need an attorney with a passion for people and an obsession with justice. That attorney is Tim Reed in Little Rock. Look, they've won $1.3 million in wrongful death, almost $1 million in medical malpractice and in insurance dispute. These guys know what they're doing, but more importantly, he's not a figurehead of some kind. He's not just some person on a poster with a picture of a rig or a smile or his dog with him. This is a real guy you can text with, you can talk to, and who will take good care of you. He'll work with you personally to get what you deserve. Check out reedfirm.com, reedfirm.com, or give him a call, 777-7333.
Through the rubble I rise, after being left for dead. Now I'm looking for trouble, all my gauges are red. Maybe to your dismay, to learn I'm not finished. I've not gone away, and I won't be diminished. I know how you want it to be. I know exactly what you expect. But if you're out and see me, you better damn well come correct. My head is on a swivel, not gonna be blindsided. It seems your very best play may have been short-sighted. The streets don't give a damn about your so-called pedigree. You think I'm on the lam, but I'll be the one you don't see. I know how you want it to be. I know exactly what you expect. But if you're out and see know you're walking proud, got that nose way up in the air. You just better hope we don't meet until then. Well, take care. I know how you want it to be, I know exactly what you expect. But if you're out and see me, you better damn well come correct. You better damn well come correct. Come correct. Through the rubble I rise, after being left for dead. Now I'm looking for trouble. All my gauges are red.
All right, we are back. That is Gauges by me.
Good lick.
Man, dude, that is I was just saying off air, and I'll say it on air, man. I don't think there's been one that you've wrote yet that hasn't hit.
Well, thank you. That's super kind of you to say. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but I'm thankful.
I mean, I do. And as far as that last one goes, like I know you and I have talked about
Yeah,
it, man.
I told you
I'm
you
going to
could
use
use
that
that.
for our new intro for Vapors.
No, I appreciate it. That's great,
Yeah,
man. I
man.
think that's great. Anytime I can help you out with that kind of, let me know. Take whatever you
Absolutely.
need. Let's talk about this because this is some crazy shit, y'all.
Uh-oh.
This is a couple out of Jilin, China. I probably said that wrong. But they found themselves in a weird situation. Apparently, they were trying to film a video for social media.
Uh-oh.
That's where it always goes wrong, isn't it?
Isn't it always? Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to see if the woman's hand could fit in her boyfriend's mouth. Okay, the whole hand. So, all of it. It went in just fine. But when she tried to take it out, his jaw muscles cramped and clamped down on her hand and trapped it. So at the hospital, they had to go to the hospital because they could not get his hand out of her mouth. You know how a monkey tries to get a pickle out of a jar and won't let go of the pickle? Look at it like that. At the hospital, doctors observed the man's face was red. He was drooling. His throat made gurgling sounds. His teeth had tightened around her wrist due to muscle contraction. So to get his girlfriend's hand out, the medical staff played calming music to relax him and used a special tool to slightly open his mouth. Gave him a muscle relaxer. Said it took about 20 minutes to get his hand free. No word on the number of views they have. It's got to be a great video.
That's like one of those situations. I think I could never go to the hospital. I would just die like that. I could not go out in public and be like, yeah, this is what
I want to know how you got there. Yeah. Who drove? Which one of you drove? You go
to the hospital. Turns out all you needed was some jazz, and a muscle relaxer,
some John Mayer, and a little Benadryl or something there. Yeah, that's wild, man. Have you ever, done
How trying to go viral sent me to the ER.
Yeah, have you ever done anything to go viral that really went, belly up on you?
No.
I'm
not brave enough to do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, I just, I don't think that, I'll do a lot of things, but I'm not going to let somebody put their hand all in my mouth.
That's going on the pain wheel, dude. That's
going on the pain wheel. Hell no, it's not. Nobody going to put their big grubby sausage fingers up in my
Nathan Kirby's hand.
Oh, God. No, man. I'll never. No, that would just destroy me. All right, so this is also pretty interesting, and again, along the lines of things that just mess your life up. So you probably heard that some members of the Trump cabinet sent they were on a chat, some kind of thread talking about military stuff, and apparently there was a reporter accidentally added to the text. I don't want to talk about that, but I think that what's the worst thing maybe you've accidentally texted someone?
Man.
All right, the worst thing you've ever accidentally texted someone. I'll give you some of these examples, and then you can think about yours. But I thought I was texting my girlfriend how awful my ex was, but I sent it to my ex on accident. That's Ron. Jerry said, let's just say it's a story that involved a D-pic and my boyfriend's mom. That's not good. Not good at all.
Oh, man.
A screenshot of my conversation with them that I was trying to send to someone else. I've done that. I've absolutely done that. Immediately have to start typing to fix that.
Yeah.
My siblings have a text chain about my parents. I complained about them on the chain that included my parents. Uh-oh. You're not going to be the one at Thanksgiving getting the extra stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely done where I've screenshotted
Yeah.
what somebody said to send to somebody else, and then just ended up sending
Send
the
it back to
screen.
them.
Be
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry, my pocket,
Yeah,
like,
right.
Screenshot
Yeah.
of our convo. Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Pictures of an older woman's feet in fishnets. Not going to say who I sent it to. Not going to say why the pic was in my phone. Yeah, Mike, I know why the pic was in your phone, because you're a feet freak. The worst things I've texted people were not by accident. They were things I said in person. This one said, one time my sister texted me a picture of her legs in fishnets and high heels surrounded by playing cards. I still have no idea. That's from Nancy. I thought I was saying to my stepmom that I thought it was weird my friend was getting married so soon after his divorce and also live streaming it. I sent it to him by mistake. Oh yeah,
But that's almost like a blessing. Like,
Could
hey,
be.
this is how I really feel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told you otherwise, but now since you know.
now you know,
Yeah.
right? A text saying it's a long shift, but at least I'm not mad about all the shirtless guys walking by. It went to my boss. It wasn't supposed to.
Oh man, I feel like I've not done anything bad like that, but I'm horrible about not adding contacts
Yeah.
to my phone, and so I've definitely mixed up.
Oh, yeah.
Texts between customers. Thought I was going to one address for a job, where it's like, oh shit, no, that was this customer. I'm at the wrong place.
Right.
Nothing ever bad. Just honest.
Nothing like this one. Meant to text my friend that I was pretending to be sick. Texted my boss. Uh-oh. Just kidding, boss. That's a joke. I'm coming in today, of course. Now I am anyway.
Yeah.
Told my friend I was ghosting a guy. Sent it to the guy I was ghosting.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great one. Accidentally texted my landlord. I hate this guy. He keeps raising rent like a cartoon villain. Yeah, well, again, that might be a blessing.
All right.
Or it could be both. Sent my dog groomer a message that said, I'm so excited to see you naked. I somehow played it off. I was joking about the dog. Right.
Yeah. Go ahead and think that.
Wrote a steamy message for my husband, sent it to the family group chat. Even my grandma commented. Yeah, that is a bad one there.
What about you? You got any good ones that you've done?
Man, most of mine, I don't think I've ever sent something that really was freaked me out or anything.
Right.
The worst I ever did, and I did get my hand smacked a little bit, but I had a client who had the same name as a friend.
Oh yeah.
And I sent an email to what I thought was my friend with a joke.
Yeah.
The joke wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
Right.
And the client did not find it funny. They did not know me. They did not think it was appropriate, nor did my bosses, and they let me know that.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, the worst of the worst ever when it comes to something like that. This is the worst. This is still maybe, let me think about it. This is the most embarrassing moment probably of my entire life.
Okay.
And I've had
I'm
many.
eager to hear
I've
this.
had many of them, okay? But I worked for a company I will not name.
Okay.
And I was emailing a lady that worked there. We were chatting, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it went to, what would I say? Like sexting, but through email.
Right. Okay.
Now, look, this was in the late 90s, so email was, for everybody having it and using it the way they did, it was still a little bit newer.
Right.
And so you would always hear them say, hey, IT sees things that you do, but you're like, whatever,
Right.
They're not looking at my shit.
Yeah, they're
you know
not,
what I mean? And so this conversation went on for days, and it continued to get progressively more explicit between she and I. And so I got an email from my boss, whom I had a great amount of respect from. And he asked that me and her come in the office there. And so we come in, shut the door, and he hands both of us a printout And he says, Patrick, would you start reading that out loud? Yeah. At the point that I got to the words butt plug,
Was it crocheted?
it was not crochet, no. But I'm saying that was the most embarrassing because
I'm
you
sure.
know you're talking mad
Sure.
as to
sure.
each other, and you're saying the worst of the worst, which is the best of the best. But still, to have to read, and he said, please understand, they do look.
Yeah.
And that was the moment I went, I'll never send an email that's questionable again. And so I learned that lesson very early on, very painfully, but I didn't lose my job or anything.
I've kind of got a similar story. Like back late 2007, somewhere around that time frame, I'd just gotten like Facebook, and that was like my main form of communication with friends at
Right,
school.
yeah.
And we didn't have a home computer. I just had my parents' work computer that
Okay.
they brought home.
Yeah.
Same thing. They have IT
Yeah.
guys at work, and I was trying to sell pot at school.
Oh.
I'm messaging all my friends like, "Hey man, you
You were
need a dime
marketing.
bag?"
You were marketing.
Mom comes in. She said, "Are you selling weed at school?" I said, "No. What would?
Oh,
what
why
make
would you ever think that?
And same thing. She just handed me a
Handed you
printout
that.
of.
Oh,
she said,
no.
The IT guy at Verco gave me this today.
Oh,
I
no.
was like, "What a douchebag! Like, why is he
Snitches get
cramping
stitches,
my
Mom.
style, dude?"
You shouldn't even talk to him. He's a snitch.
Dude, I'll tell you one more quick one.
Okay.
In school, I was cheating on a test. I was texting back and forth to a guy at home who had his science book out and was texting me the answers. The teacher ends up catching me with my phone and sends me to the office. And at that time, like, I don't know, I'm sure now, like, privacy or whatever, they might not do this, but they proceeded to go through my phone, my entire phone.
Oh, wow.
To see me cheating on the test, and then in that they found a video of me and my buddy literally out in the school parking lot. And,
Oh, no.
I mean, we're just dumb 15-year-old kids.
Right.
And he films me and films us. He's like, we're sitting here stoned, and we're about to go into school, and then pans towards the school.
Oh,
and
no.
So then the principal's like, "You been smoking weed at school?" I'm like, no, not at all. It's like, we got a blatant video of me. Worst part about that story, you weren't allowed to have phones in school now. Now I think they let you have them, but they went through my phone, saw everybody that I'd texted after 8 a.m.
Oh, no.
Called all of them, man.
All of them.
Saw everybody that I got like 32 people in trouble that
Oh,
day.
shit.
Dude, everybody
Did they hate you?
hated me.
Yes.
My girlfriend, who didn't know I smoked pot at the time, they
That's-
showed her that video. I had to sit in the principal's office
Oh,
with the
no.
principal and my girlfriend. And dude,
That sounds to today like it would not be legal for privacy
exactly.
reasons.
Dude, I tell that story, and they're like, "They went through your phone." It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't know it. I'm like,
Well, no,
14,
you don't know
15,
any better.
But yeah, dude, that was a horrible day at school. I sat in the office all day as they called one person in by one person. They're just
Yeah.
looking at me like, "Dude, you got us in trouble." Like, horrible day at school.
Yeah,
Why'd you snitch on us, man?
yeah. I know. Somebody I know very well got caught because they decided to smoke in front of the school. It was even at nighttime.
Right.
But they're standing out there clearly doing it on school grounds on camera, and somebody saw that, and the phone rang. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a tough day by any.
I've never
stretch.
sent like a bad text, but my phone or computer has gotten me in trouble a couple times.
Yeah, no.
You were talking earlier about that you had sent it to the IT guys. Speaking about
Yeah.
IT guys, one of our IT guys, Brandon, said he sent his mom a message using his girl's pet name.
Oh,
God.
well,
Send the message to your mom. What's
the
up,
question
Angel
is,
Girl?
what was the pet name?
Yeah, we gotta know. You
If
gotta let
it's
us know,
sweet
Brandon.
cheeks, that could be a problem. I don't know. Listen, let me take a brief moment here to tell you, if you're looking for a great vehicle, go over to Fitz Auto. Man, I was there yesterday. They've got some amazing vehicles out there right now. Here's a great one, a 2018 Camry SE with 40,000 miles for under 25.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. As a matter of fact, I was standing there talking to him yesterday, and he was talking about a guy who came to see him and for a pickup truck.
Right.
Because they had just been to the new car dealerships looking at pickup trucks, and they were $80,000 to $100,000, for a 4-door pickup that's loaded up, and so they went over to Fitz and found a much better deal on it. They've got all kinds of vehicles. Doesn't really matter what you're after. Here's a 22 Volvo S60. Here's a Lincoln MKZ 2020, 2020 Jetta
All good
with
numbers.
30,000 miles on it. Look, here's a 2014 Camaro with only 88,000 miles. I mean, that's 11 years old. That's 8,000 miles a year, or right at it. I mean, that's great, man.
Check out that Fiesta.
Yeah,
2019 Fiesta for $12,000.
12,000 for a 2019.
Wow.
77,000
And that thing probably
miles.
gets a billion miles a year. It'll probably go to the moon and back.
Guarantee it.
Go to 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock, or go over to fitzauto.com and get it in there. That's where you want to go. Even if you had, don't say, hey, I got bad credit. It's okay. They're their own
Yeah,
bank.
no, they'll take
They
care
got
of
that for you. Now we're talking, have been talking about text and mistakes and things like that. But if you've watched, there's a new hit Netflix series I started watching called Adolescence.
All right.
And it's a really interesting series. It's about, it's based in England, but it's there they don't have a gun problem, they have a knife problem,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And so it's about a girl at school who gets stabbed by a classmate, and it's all about that. But a big part of it are emojis they've used to determine the girl that was stabbed had been bullying him.
Oh, right.
And so you find this out through, and I'm spoiler alert, I'm sorry. But it's not going to hurt the plot at all. But that's what they find out, right?
I gotcha.
It's a 13-year-old boy arrested for murder of his female classmate. It highlights the way kids get, quote, radicalized online by misogynistic content. It does have a little bit of a heavy hand in it, I'll be honest, but that's okay. But there's a lot of hidden meanings in emojis that maybe you don't know about. And so it says these are emojis parents should know.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
You should be aware. So the red pill, this one comes from the Matrix, and it means I see the truth. In the manosphere, it means walking up to hidden truths about women, and quote is linked to misogynistic ideas. I don't know. They reference that guy Andrew Tate.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know a lot about him. I know he seems like he's pretty outlandish, but
Yeah.
I've never paid any attention.
Yeah, he kind of comes off as a douchebag.
Yeah, he seems like a
I
bag.
feel like even if you're on the right, you probably
Yeah,
think of
no,
him as a douchebag.
he seems like a bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue pill, it represents being blind to the truth. Dynamite emoji, that refers to an exploding red pill, meaning someone is a radicalized incel. You know what an incel is? It's a guy who can't get laid, okay? Typically a young man. A kidney bean, also linked to incel culture somehow. The 100 emoji can refer to something called the 80-20 rule, which is the belief that 80% of women are only attracted to 20% of men. Yeah, I don't buy that at all, to be honest. That doesn't even mathematically hold up. I mean, look, I mean, go explain Lyle Lovett. Explain Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, come on, man. I'm not even going with that, huh?
That's the little, 100 with the red lines underneath it or whatever.
which I use all the time.
I was just thought
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, man, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I'll
That's-
say, man, I got you at 100.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know. But again, I'm not in that group.
Right.
So they might see it differently, but my group
Right.
sees it that
Right.
way.
Yeah.
Pancakes is supposed to be a flat ass. A steaming bowl of food is nude photos. An ear of corn means porn. Snowflake.
Okay, that
didn't know
one's
the
been
corn
common.
one. I
Yeah,
didn't know
that
the
one's
corn
been
one.
picking up.
Okay, snowflake. Did you? I didn't know that
Yeah.
one. So that
Well,
means-
it's so I think
It
it started
rhymes.
off with that, and it started off with a lot of streamers and
They
stuff.
don't flag
they
the word
can't, yeah,
corn.
so-
Right.
They can
Okay.
say corn star and not get
Right,
taken down.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Snowflake, cocaine. Yeah, see, if I used a snowflake, it would mean something completely
Yeah,
different.
I thought that
Right.
just meant,
I mean,
you
you
know,
were a weak stick.
Yeah.
A little snowflake.
Find
you
a
know.
space,
I-
safe space.
I did not expect that. Do you? Let me ask: do you use emojis pretty regular?
No, I use words. I thought we advanced from the hieroglyphic. Never mind.
Hieroglyphic.
Yeah, there you go.
Cave drawings.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm heading back there right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to hate emojis. Before you had the yellow emojis you had now, you would type
Yeah.
like a 2 dots and a semicolon.
Yeah, and
You
it
remember
made the
that?
smiley face.
And
Yeah.
I was never into that. It was something I feel like guys would do when they were talking to girls.
Yes.
Like, you
Yeah,
know, that was
initially,
really
yeah.
as far as it went.
It was more girl related.
But
Yeah.
now, even in my guy group text, I'm all over that.
I-
I mean,
I
I don't
use
know
them.
why. I just, you know, it just, yeah.
I don't know. It's fun, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
you know.
so. It makes it a little silly.
We were talking about the missed text, sending it to the wrong person earlier.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And Brandon had said that he sent his mom a message using his girl's pet name.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Did we
he just
find
answered back. Yeah, he just answered back. He said it was Sweet Cheeks.
Yeah,
Sweet
no,
Cheeks.
that's what it was.
He
Yeah.
sent Sweet Cheeks to his mom, and she sent him back calling him Pumpkin.
Yeah. Well, that's the worst you got. You're pretty good, man. That's
not
all
bad.
right, man.
That's
It's
not bad.
good thing you didn't. Yeah, never mind.
Send an eggplant emoji.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
With the water after it. Hold on 1 second. I need to address. What up, Clapper?
Clapper.
Gotta keep talking. Clapper's brand new social media we're on today. We're streaming separately there from another device, and so I'm trying to shout them out and let them know we love them.
Yeah.
We love Clapper.
Yeah.
Come
Dude,
get
you know, being
clapped.
an electrician, I've never installed a clapper.
No,
No,
never
no.
clap on,
No,
clap off.
never done one
Is
of
it
those.
that?
is that like a goal of yours?
Can you buy those at Home Depot? Like the clapper? Well,
I
how
don't
does
know
that
if I'm
work?
Home Depot. I bet you could order it
You
on
just
Amazon.
order it off Amazon. Is
Yeah.
it a bulb or is it a particular type of thing that goes in the lamp? What is it?
As
Oh, y'all
never
were talking
have
about a
installed
different
one, I would have to assume it's either the bulb or some kind of mechanism in the switch
Yeah.
itself.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember when that was like the coup de grace.
Oh no,
You
that
had-
was the big deal, man.
Come on, dude. That
They had
was-
commercials all the time. Clap on,
Yeah.
clap off.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I think
it
I
was
went to
huge.
one friend's house who had it, and I just thought they were the richest people in the world.
Well, it seemed so cool and crazy.
Yeah, it's
Now
such a
they have
luxury.
lights that just come on automatically when you walk
Yep.
in.
Yeah, that's
That's cool.
annoying.
Is it?
Well, so my new place that I moved into,
Yeah.
I had to have the maintenance men come down because I was like, y'all got to switch these light switches. Like, there was motion detector light
Oh,
switches.
outside?
No, in my room.
Oh.
So, like, I'd be sleeping, and then, in the middle of the night, I'd roll
The
over
light
at
would
2
come on?
o'clock in the morning, bing, and I'm like, God.
No, I don't know who. Why would you ever have
I
a
don't
motion
know.
detector
I don't-
inside?
I
Right.
mean,
That's weird.
might have enjoyed,
I
like a
installed
strobe
some
light feeling
in,
or
like
something.
closets.
I guess
Like closets or pantries. So that
Yeah.
they work great there, but
Maybe
in a
if-
bedroom.
maybe if your kidnap victim started moving too much, you didn't want him to escape,
Right.
you would know. I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine that you would use that.
I was
for.
worried about, having like a room with the clapper switch and then, like let's say the bedroom. You're getting into it, and that light's just flicking on.
Yeah, it turns into a rave.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know
It turns into a disco party. There.
Right.
what that is. No, I just
I did do a house a while back where they had smart everything, smart receptacles, smart switches, smart lights.
It's pretty
So
cool to see that.
Everything was automated off their phone, and then they could download like a third-party thing that was like a voice automation that worked in conjunction with that app, so they could literally turn off every receptacle, every switch, every light with their voice.
Really?
I thought it was super cool.
That
but-
is cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That is cool, actually. What all kinds of things can you do in a smart home? You can do security.
Yeah, security,
the lighting.
Depending on what lights you put in there, I've seen people where they've got color changing lights throughout their whole
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Christmas comes, they'll have accent lightings go red.
Yeah.
Halloween, like
How
stuff
long
like
before homes come with built-in Christmas lights in the eaves?
that. Yeah,
Why are we not doing
it's
that
something
yet?
I've thought about for a long time, being an electrician. Like,
Yeah,
man,
why don't you just build those in where they're real subtle during the year,
Right.
but then when you just plug them in, hit the switch and they come on at Christmas time. I mean,
you
it
need to
seems
be
like
helping me push that out, man. Because
that's-
I've been trying to get people to do
I
that.
think that's a great idea, especially with LED now.
Exactly.
You can,
It's never
you can
gonna
conceal
go
it so
out.
much. Yeah.
Right. It's not like the cheap Christmas lights that everybody
No.
has in mind. One bulb goes out, the whole
And then
thing
the whole
goes
thing
out.
does. No, LED is way better. Yeah, no doubt
Yeah,
about it.
I've actually been in one house too where, and I don't know because I was an apprentice on this job and came in the middle of the job, but in each main room of their home, they had no wall switches. It was all on what looks like an iPad, essentially a computer screen, like their den area, their living room area, their kitchen area. And they did everything off that computer screen that was mounted to their wall. To control their lighting, dimness level, and all that. It's pretty cool to see what they're doing. I'm sure in the next 20 years it'll be a completely different way that we wire houses.
Until your
I'm
internet
sure you're
goes
right,
out.
actually.
What do you do once your internet goes out? So that stuff has to be all like connected somewhere, I would
Well,
think.
you have to have a backup if you've got a smart home, I think. I mean, if you're running everything smart, you have to have some kind of backup.
Yeah, in case it goes dumb.
Yeah, in case the internet goes down. Speaking of homes, let me just mention very briefly, I am a real estate agent. If you need to buy a home or sell a home, I can help you out. And I tell you what, if you go over, I'm real pleased to see it, but I was looking through Zillow reviews yesterday, and the one phrase that was used the most is above and beyond, and that makes me really happy because I do try to do that.
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example to me of what that looks like. Had a client this past week on Friday. We were going to close on the home. Beautiful home. Matter of fact, maybe the most beautiful home I've sold.
Nice.
No, it really was. It's a beautiful home, about $430,000. It's not the most expensive, but it was damn nice.
Oh, yeah.
It had an island with it, okay? And so the problem, we show up for final walkthrough, which is to make sure everything is done that's supposed to be done, right?
Right.
And we found an active leak
Oh, yeah.
that had sprung, and apparently it had been a small leak that matured to a bigger leak. So, not only was there a leak, but we determined where it was coming from under the dishwasher. There was damage,
Right.
and drywall damage. No black mold, but green mold
Right.
had started, and we had to stop right then and there. I had to call the other agent, tell them what was going on.
this is closing day.
Yeah,
You're
this
about
is
to
closing
close.
day, and I'm like, we're not going to close unless we can solve this now.
Right.
Right.
And so, they came over, we looked at it, went back and forth, negotiated back and forth, and they were really pushing back. But ultimately, they did concede because I knew, look, you want to close, you're this close to close. I feel like, this is on you.
Right.
Right.
We haven't signed off on this house yet. It's still yours.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I mean, we can walk
Like, we
away
can
right
walk
now.
now.
Right now.
Yep.
We can leave.
Do you want to lose
yeah.
a few $1,000s,
And so
or do
they-
you want to lose the whole deal?
They scratched a check for $3,500 to repair that.
There you go.
Nice.
And that's the kind of thing that you want your realtor to do.
Exactly.
Right.
You want them to go to bat for you. You want them to fight for you.
I'd say they wouldn't have been forthcoming with that had you not have
No.
pushed them like, hey, if
we-
you want to get this deal done.
That's it. You got to do it. So, and I will fight for you to get you the best deals. There's so many ways to buy a house people don't think about. Just because you go into a house and there are issues you see, like maybe you don't like a color, you don't like paint,
Right.
you don't like this. Man,
Don't let
everything-
that stop you.
literally everything is negotiable. That's what I try to tell people. Everything is negotiable. If you like the shape of a house, you like the style in general.
Right.
You can ask, hey, let me get a paint budget. Let me get
Right.
I don't like carpet. Let me get a flooring budget. Let me get something to redo this. I want to redo these bathrooms. I want to renovate this kitchen.
Right.
You can ask for those kind of things, and then you get a better deal on a home and make it the way you want instead of going to 200 homes to try to find one that might fit what you
Yeah,
want.
Right.
exactly.
And so it's about knowing how to buy.
When you say you ask for those things, like, you mean you ask for like the more, for the finance bank to cover it, or is it covered by the seller?
The seller,
of the house?
the seller. Yeah, you would. Let's say that I'm looking at a house that's $350,000,
Okay.
right? Okay, this is a 4-bedroom, 2,400 square foot home. Really nice home, but it's never been updated. So
Right.
it has an older style of kitchen and bathroom. Doesn't mean it's not well maintained or nice.
Right.
It's just that older style that is somewhat dated.
Right, right.
So
Avocado green
Yeah.
stove. Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
may be. More often, it's 90s trends you
Right,
see,
right.
which is big square tile,
Right.
and a certain look on cabinets with
Right.
the oak look on the wood, that light oak color
Yeah.
that everybody used.
Little copper handles.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
the white counters in the sink in the bathroom.
Very 90s.
Yeah. So with that, you might walk in and go, well, I don't like,
Right,
these
I want-
bathrooms at all. Okay, so what do you need to make those bathrooms right?
Right.
Okay, well, I'd want to do this and this. Okay, well, how much is that going to be? So we get a quote.
Okay.
And when I put the offer in, I go, we're going to offer $350,000, but
Contingent.
we want a $15,000 allowance for bathroom renovation.
Okay.
You know, instead of just asking for a discount and then spending money later to renovate it, why not do it
Right now.
right now?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do it now, you know. And so what happens, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it before you close, where you do the repairs and then you close, or you can have it put into what's called an escrow account for a contractor, and as soon as you're done, the contractor does the work and gets paid out of that escrow.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can go
Either way, yeah.
route and come out much better
Right.
than if you go. But you know, that's something people struggle with is, you know, yeah, I want a house that's 3,000 square feet, but I want it under 300,000. Well,
Right.
shit, good luck. You know, if you can get that, but you're gonna have to do some work.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
you're gonna have
get
to-
the newest house
Right.
at that
It's
price.
just not how
you
it
know?
goes.
So you're better off to buy one that you can do a little work on, build your own equity up.
Right.
Buy it at a lower price, build your equity up, because anytime you do a bathroom or a kitchen, you immediately raise the price of your house.
Right.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is the
Immediately.
number one thing.
Immediately.
Kitchens and bathrooms are the number one thing to upgrade in your home if you want it to sell faster.
Well, I think
Yeah.
buying a house is like one of those things. Not only do people not really know that they can wheel and deal or negotiate like
Right.
that, but then, okay, say they learn that they can, they don't know how to efficiently. And that's
No,
where
well,
somebody,
that's what- yeah.
when a realtor that has your best interest in mind doesn't just look at you like,
And there are a lot of realtors in my mind that don't.
yeah, no, 100%.
And I don't mean
100%.
that. I don't mean that just to be ugly. I just mean a lot of realtors take the path of least resistance.
Yeah, and if
You know
you've
what I
ever
mean?
gone through that process, you've seen them.
Yeah,
You've seen the type.
You know what I mean. And I'm just not that cat. You know,
Right.
listen, I'm going to go to work and find a way to solve the problem and
Right.
get you what you want if it's even feasible.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. You know, I negotiate for people, and that's why I think I'm an advocate for my clients.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think
what you look
that's
for.
why people say, "Oh, he went over and above."
Right.
You know, I had it. As a matter of fact, the client I sold that home to, they moved here from Texas. They came down one time. We went and looked at, I think, 3 homes together, and I
Right.
kind of got to know them. And then they went back to Texas, and what I would do is I told them, look, if you see something you like, I'll run over there. I'll do a little video walkthrough for you. I'll send you this, get you the information you want, get you a floor plan. I can go do a floor plan on any house,
Right.
and have it within 24 hours, printable. And I did that on multiple homes for them to help them. So when
Yeah.
they came back, guess what? I'm their realtor,
Yeah.
right? Because
Right.
I've been helping them the whole time already.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that I think makes a difference.
And go ahead, Rich.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I don't know, and I know you said, you know, you can come in and say, oh, you know, hey, we need $15,000 to
Sure.
to redo the bathroom or whatever, but like, and I'm just wondering in an aspect, you know, and I don't know if this could happen or not, but what if like, hey, I like the bones of the house, but I don't like anything about it. I want to gut it out completely. You're not gonna get that to happen.
No, well, you could potentially on the right buy.
Just depending on the.
On the right buy, you
Okay.
could. Yeah, you could on the right buy, but it's not. It's much less common, and you're going to have to look more for a diamond in the rough. And
Gotcha.
You probably need to understand what the risks are on that.
Okay.
You know, because when you go to a complete renovation, there are a lot of inherent risks that people don't know about. For example, you might want to buy a house in Hillcrest.
Right.
Right.
The Heights over there, which is beautiful. Everybody loves going to the Heights.
Great
They love that.
neighborhood.
It is a very expensive home. There's a home at the top of, I want to say North Taylor is where it is, and it's been there for at least a year for sale. I did show it earlier on, probably 5 or 6 times. I'm sure it's been shown a million times. The reason it hasn't sold, it has foundation issues. And that is common on homes in that area because they're 100 years old.
Right. Gotcha.
You know, so there are issues there. And so you have to know what you're getting into and how to evaluate it before you jump in, you know. So a total flip is not often, unless you're an investor, typically the way to go. You know, if you have a threshold of pain with some cash reserves, then that's a way to go. But if you're trying to do some basic reno work, like a bathroom, a kitchen,
Right.
you know, things,
That
some
can all
flooring,
get nice.
some fencing,
Some
Right.
updating, you know,
yeah,
wherever.
that's
yeah.
exactly right.
That's what
Those
it's
are
for.
common things that you can ask for. Some people negotiate price down.
Right.
You know, now what's harder to get people to see is you can't always negotiate all the price down, then come back and go, oh, and I want you to fix all this stuff too.
Right.
You know, that's probably not going to work. You know, once they give you all they got, they gave you all they got.
Right.
You know?
And I haven't used you to buy a house, but I know how you kind of operate, and it's like I like to compare it to, I've got a guy, anytime I buy a boat, this guy's very knowledgeable about boats, and it's just one of my good buddies, and so I'll take
Yeah.
him with me anytime.
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel like that's probably how you do business. You feel like this person is just here to help me out. They don't really have a vested interest in me purchasing this. They're just trying to help me make the best decision I can for my life.
Yeah, man.
And you don't feel like, man, this guy's just trying to sell me this house so he can
No.
make his cut. And
No,
you don't feel like that.
I'll tell you what, the worst thing in my mind is a pressure real estate agent.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like
Yeah.
a pressure car dealer.
Dude, the worst.
Nobody
The
wants
worst.
that. Look, when you buy a house, 99.9% of us, it's the largest purchase you'll
Yeah,
ever make in your
100%.
life.
Right.
Honestly, it is. And so you've already got, listen, you're applying all the pressure in the world to yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need me to.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly,
You don't need me
exactly.
to. So my job is to help you find out what your priorities are.
Yeah. Navigate.
Because you may not know when you start looking what your priorities
Exactly.
are. You may just be looking for a home. Until you've looked at 2 or 3, you may not be able to evaluate, well, this is what really matters to me.
This is what I want.
You know, you might go in thinking one thing, but then
Yeah.
you look 2 or 3 times and you go, you know, really, this is where it's at.
Right,
So
right.
my job is to help you find your priorities. Once we figure that out, then we tailor our shopping to that.
And I think that's the biggest thing is the order operations.
Yeah.
You go in blind, you don't know where
No.
to start, and you need somebody like
Right.
you, like, dude, this is where you start. This is how we're going to get you set up.
Yep.
You know, this is how we're going to get you in a good place, good price, and make sure you're not getting ripped off.
Well, and a perfect example of that, as you were just mentioning, and Latasha commented, she said her boyfriend got really screwed buying his house with the realtor. Obviously wasn't that good because that realtor didn't tell them any of this. She said the house that she bought now needs, no, the house that he bought now needs over $20,000 of updating.
And I'm going to tell you why, Tasha. I'm going to tell you why they don't. Because it's work.
Right.
Because as your realtor, if that's the path we're going to go down, I need to babysit this all the way through and make sure that what we're talking about happens the right way.
Right.
And so that's much more challenging for a real estate agent because first you have to negotiate it. Then you got to make sure that in my case, I'm fortunate that, for example, Bundy, he's an electrician I regularly use.
Right.
I have other contractors that I work with that flip homes. So, not every realtor, as a matter of fact, I don't know how many realtors have a flip team in their pocket.
Yeah,
I don't
either.
know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I am fortunate that way. I can find out, if we're looking at something and you're like, well, how much would it cost to do this? I can probably find out before the end of the day.
Right.
Because my
Which
guy,
is great, yeah.
It is. My guy will come over, look at it, and go, this is what it's going to be. Okay.
Right.
And so, yeah, a lot of realtors don't want to do that. They just want you to buy it and deal with it later.
Right.
And make
As
their cut.
you're dealing.
They're after that
Right.
commission check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, look, there's always things. I tell people this too that you have to understand. If you want to buy a new house, if you want a perfect home, buy a new house. Just like buying a new car, it starts perfect.
Yep.
Now you're always going to pay more. Just like if you buy a new car, the average new car is $50,000, $49,900. All right, you can buy a late model used car for half of that.
Right.
Right. Same with houses, not quite half,
but same concept.
But you can buy a 2,100 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2-bath house for probably, $320,000, $350,000 brand new, or you can get one for $300,000, $290,000, $300,000 used, but you have to understand that a used home ain't a new home. They all have some issues, and even the best inspectors, not everything shows up on an inspection. You may look at the water heater, it may test out fine, it may be fine, and then a week later go out.
Right.
And that's just part of being a homeowner, and it's the sucky part.
Yeah.
It is the sucky part. But to your point, Tasha, all these things are things that some people don't talk about before,
Right.
and they don't tell you, hey, man, you've got a lot more power than you think
Right.
when you're doing
Right.
this,
And if you don't know otherwise, you're kind of just at the helm of what they're telling you can
That's
do.
right.
And if you don't know, then you don't know.
This is exactly why I got into real estate, because I had such a bad experience buying my home.
Yeah, because I've always kind of just felt like for me, it's almost like, if I go to some place to buy a car, like, all right, this is what I've got. What can you give me?
Right.
Same thing with this. I can afford this much per month. This is what I make.
Right.
What could I possibly get as a house?
Right.
Here's the biggest thing with buying a house. Bottom line is that you need the credit first.
Right.
That's number one.
Gotcha.
You really need to be honestly at a 680 or better. That's where you want to be.
Right.
680 or better. Now you can get any credit app. I use what is it?
Credit Karma?
Yeah, Credit
Yeah.
Karma. And that shows me everything that's going on. It will give me a path to get there. And that's what I use. You can do the same thing, but once you get to that, then the next step is finding out what you qualify for. Can you get some grants? Can you get some down payment assistance? What type of things can you get?
Yeah, what can help you out?
Yeah, and I'm talking specifically to first-time buyers right now. I'm not
Right.
talking to established people who've done this once or
Right,
twice,
right.
and they know the deal. They got money in the bank. They're ready to do it. They have equity in their house, so they can sell it and use that money to buy a new house. I'm talking about people who've never bought a home for the first time, And so, step one is get your credit right.
Right.
That's number one. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be right. You can't have judgments that are active. You can't have lawsuits. You can't have child support in arrears. These are things you cannot have and buy a home.
So let me ask you this: do you have a good suggestion to somebody as to how they
Blew
can,
up.
Right.
as to how they can slowly but surely build their credit?
Yeah, I do. So here's what you want to do. Number one, anything you've got that is late, any
Yep.
type of collection, anything that's late, you want to get it current or paid up.
Right.
Okay. Now that will stop bleeding, but
Right.
it won't rehab you. To
Right.
rehab yourself, let's say that you don't have a credit card now. And number one, if you have credit cards, you can have a balance, but you want to keep the balance under 20% of the amount that
It's
you have.
20% now, huh?
Well, that's a safe number. It can
Okay.
be
Yeah.
it can be higher, but I'm trying to keep you safely where
Right,
you need to
right.
be.
No,
okay?
I appreciate that. I'm just,
Yeah,
because
so-
I've always heard 30%.
Yeah,
and that's,
I
20%
encourage
is-
20% because I think it's a safer bet for you. So if you have $1,000 limit, you really don't want that balance to be over 200, but you do want to have a balance and make payments.
Right.
Okay.
Small payments.
Consistently.
Yeah, consistently. If, let's say, you don't have good credit and you're like, well, how the hell am I supposed to have a credit card? Well, then you take $500 to Bank of America or whatever bank you pick. There's a ton of them. They'll give you a secure credit card. So you put $500 in there. They give you a $500 limit.
Okay.
And you
make payments on
you
it
make
that way.
payments on that, and that acts as a credit card. It is a credit card, and it helps build your credit as long as you're paying that balance appropriately.
Right.
And that once you pay everything up and you get that, that's going to help you immensely. Those are the first steps to take.
I've
So-
heard a lot of good things about the, I think there's like, what is it, like the Chime credit builder card or something
Yeah,
like
there
that?
there are
Yeah.
lots of. Listen, I don't even know all the great programs that exist out there. There are a lot of them. I'll tell you what. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. and
It's a good topic,
It,
man.
it is. It is a good topic. I'm going to take a break, but I want to come back and I want to bring this into Grok.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I want to bring this into Grok
got
because
some
we've
things
been
to tell
talking
you
about
about
that
that.
today. We want to talk about Grok, and I think this might be a great way to leverage the power of that.
Sure. We can try it out.
Let's do this, and we'll be back. Okay. Oh yeah.
Just hanging out, having a drink. Ain't doing nothing in the world. Talking to Steve and my boy Pink. And in the door walks this girl. Ain't said a word, but ain't nothing quiet about you. This sounds crazy as hell, got? What you got? What you got? What am I supposed to do? Was it coincidence or more? Damn it, I just wanna talk to you. I just need to come up with what for. I ask my buddies what they think. They're way too many beers in, but I still need one more drink before I look at you again. At the bar, your eyes meet mine. There's no way I'm not calm, even down to how you hold your wine. Whatever is what you got. What you got. What you got. Empty my glass, set it down. I just made up my mind. If your water I already drowned, there's no regrets I'm leaving behind. At the bar, your eyes meet mine. There's no way I'm not caught, even down to how you hold your wine. Whatever is what you got. It's what you got. What you got. It's what you got. What you got. Down, baby, I'm telling you. Down, baby, I'm telling you. Whatever is what you got.
All right, we are back.
It was jamming, man.
That was a jam, man. So we were talking about Grok, and
Yeah.
let me tell you what that is. Grok, I believe, is Elon Musk's AI.
Yep.
And so started messing with Grok. I guess this past week we really started kind of messing with it, and it really started by you using it and you telling me what you had gotten.
Oh, yeah.
So tell people what that was.
So, gosh, what was that? It seems like it was forever ago.
What was
did I
about
use
your
it? Was it-
announcing stuff?
Yeah. So, I've just been messing around with it, and I've had it. Just whenever I have free time, and it's a new technology, so test it
Yeah.
out, see what it can do.
Right.
So most recently, last night I told it, I said, hey, go check out my announcing highlight video, and I put in the link from my Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I said, tell me what I can do better, or what basically what do I need to do to reach the next level of announcing?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really good at what I do, but I'd like to get the attention of some of the bigger indie promotions, you know. And so I put it in there, and within like 5 seconds, it had gone and watched the video, and it spit out like a 3-page list of things about you do this well, you've got confidence, you're clear, you've got the chops, you've got the basics that's, puts you further ahead of people just starting out because we don't have to teach you those things.
Yeah.
Right.
But you should add a little more flair. You have a great voice and you're very consistent and loud throughout for like high profile matches, but some companies want that drama. Some companies want that grit voice, And it was like try, rather than it looked at my announcing and it was like, it's very straightforward. You do, height, weight, where they're from. Try adding in like hailing from, Little
Right.
Rock, Arkansas.
Right.
Weighing in at 275 pounds, add
Yeah.
that little pause.
Right.
And just all the things that it was suggesting, I was like, you're absolutely right. Like, these are things, and it even broke it down for me and said, because like GCW is a bigger indie promotion.
Right.
It's called Game Changer Wrestling. They're going to be coming to, what is it, the venue in Little Rock. Is it the Hill? The
Verizon?
No, not Verizon. It's the smaller one.
The Hall?
The Hall.
Hall,
That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, the Hall. But anyways, like there, and it basically specifically broke it down for me and was like the things that like GCW and those bigger indie promotions are looking for.
Yeah.
You've got the basics. Start working in this, and you could start to get noticed by them. Like you
Now-
could definitely hit that level.
So I put in just now, I just put in create a list of verifiable accomplishments by Patrick Beam, not Angry Patrick, in Arkansas.
Okay.
That's all I put.
All right.
That's it. Okay. So it says it pulled information from 25 web pages. Patrick Beam, known as Angry Patrick, a multifaceted individual with a notable career in Arkansas spanning radio, comedy, acting, and entrepreneurship. Below is a list of verifiable accomplishments based on available information. Number 1, radio career on 100.3 The Edge. And it breaks that down. Became a prominent radio personality in Arkansas, co-hosting Corey and Patrick in the Morning, one of the highest rated morning shows in the state. Joined the station officially as co-host in 2013, continued until 2023, really 24, entertaining listeners with his unique comedic voice for over a decade. The next one, creation of Patrick, the Angry Viewer. The next one, stand-up comedy career in Arkansas. Next, founder of Arkansas's Funniest Person contest. Acting roles in film and television, comedy album release, entrepreneurship with the Reclaimed Artisan Shop,
Hey, shout out the
military service contribution, published author, comedy tour with Laura Beam. It brought all this up
Wow.
with one question.
Right.
One question. So where I was tying that back to getting ready to purchase a home or anything else.
Yeah.
You could go in there
Yeah.
and you could put, create a credit rehabilitation plan for someone with bad credit.
Great
And,
use of
and
that.
it will spit out a step-by-step
Exactly
guide for
what you
you
need
to
to
do that. Here's another thing. If you're a couple and you're looking, let's say you're having communication challenges, you can put in there, create a therapy plan for a struggling couple based on communication.
Right.
And it'll
Yeah.
spit you out a plan.
Just as much as a therapist would tell you,
Yes.
if you paid to go
Yeah.
to one, like
You could even go as far as to go, how can I, what's the most effective house to buy? A brand new home or a used home that you renovate? And let it tell you.
Right.
Or how do you go about buying a home with renovations? You put any of that in
This
there.
is. I just did it. I
Okay.
took your advice.
Okay.
All right. and I put in what my
Congratulations. Good choice.
I put in what my credit score is, which it's being worked on. But literally,
Yeah.
it just
Aren't we all?
Right. It literally just spit me out a plan and put it in a timeline that says if you follow these steps within 24 months, you can get a score of 620.
Okay.
did you tell it that you were half Jewish?
Yes.
Did it take that into
Yeah,
account?
that's why it's not 600.
Right.
Yeah, just because of that. Yeah, no, that's why, right?
It said stay away from ovens.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh, dude, I encourage everybody. I encourage
I'm
everybody.
still hearing that in my head. I apologize to all of you.
I
You know
encourage
the
everybody to
difference between-
familiarize themselves with these things. I haven't used this. I just downloaded it, but I'm a big advocate for ChatGPT, dude. I use
Yeah.
that every day. I don't
Yeah.
use a web browser anymore. Matter of fact, I bought a little two-stroke, it's a bicycle with a two-stroke engine on it yesterday. And I couldn't figure out how to start it. I bought it for
Yeah.
like $75 off Facebook.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, I had it started in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. You can plug that into, and say, you do that, you ask, how do I rebuild my credit over 24 months? And it explains it to you in a way, you're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't really get that. That's all you have to tell it. I don't really understand how you explain
no,
that. Can you
it'll-
break that down better for me?
Yeah, and it will.
And it will, 100%. Like, I have to have stuff way dumbed down. I have to have it like I'm a toddler. You have to explain stuff to
right.
me,
No, I'm with you on that.
So I love this kind of stuff. I'm excited to use this.
Yeah, it's
rock.
very interesting, isn't
It's
it?
very cool.
All right, so a few comments from Drunk Encrypted says, this is Tommy. What up, T? Said, we just finished setting her home up to be controlled by Alexa. So that's
nice.
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, it really is. Tasha said, Rich Chime is a great one That's how I got my credit score from 550 up to 700.
Yeah, I've
I
heard a lot
started
of
with
people
Chime. Now I have 4 credit cards totaling over $20,000. That's great input. I have heard good things about Chime.
Yeah.
So that's great.
I think they were.
Tosh said, as soon as I can convince him to sell the house, you're my first call for a realtor. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to help out. And, that's another thing, too, a lot of people don't realize. Selling a house. All right, so here's another one. So I had a guy reach out to me, a friend of mine now, and his home, admittedly, look, they bought it. He lived in it for a long time. They had large dogs. They had kids. So
Right.
guess what that
That's some
means?
wear and tear.
You got wear and tear, right?
Right.
All right, so you're going to go to sell it, but you don't have the money to renovate it before you sell it, right?
Right.
I mean, that's where a lot of homeowners would be, and they'd be
Right.
like, well, what can I do? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can do what we did, which is we offered people an option. You can either get this amount off, or B, we can do this amount in renovation for you. Mm-hmm. You pick the colors, you pick the styles, you pick all that, and we'll do that before we close. And we sold that house very quickly because of that.
Yeah.
Because a guy whose daughter was in college happened to drive by, see the sign, called. And, I told him, I said, look, this would be a good investment for you if after she's done you want a rental.
Right.
This
needs a little TLC.
We can either, give you the deal or we can do the work. And we negotiated actually back and forth, and we did $20,000 worth of work.
Nice.
And basically this young lady stepped into a turnkey home that was like new, but wasn't new.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean? And they got it for a good deal.
Yeah.
And
Hell
so
yeah.
now when she graduates college in 3 years, she'll have equity in it.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to rent it, if they want to sell it, they're going to be all right. But that's one way to approach that. Let's see what everybody else is saying here. Shane, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Shane from Dad's After Dark.
Outlaw.
Outlaw. All right, let's move on to some other topics here. I've got a few things to talk about that I thought may be of interest to you, and just want to kind of see what your thoughts are on this. So I don't know what to think here. I know when I went to school, which was a billion years ago.
It's back when they still had stones and chisels, right?
we chiseled out our spelling words. That's right.
Ding, ding, ding.
But
two.
boy, typos were just a bitch. Yeah, typo was a bitch. You got to shave the whole face of the rock and start over. Takes days, to do a spelling test. But when I was in school, there was a rule that you could wear any graphic tee T-shirt unless it was deemed a distraction. Okay,
right,
you couldn't
right.
wear anything that was a distraction, and that's how they labeled it. It wasn't specific, but if they thought it was a distraction, they were going to tell you. So
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
had foul language, certain things on it,
I
right?
got sent home many times.
Okay, so you get it.
Oh,
As
yeah.
a matter of fact, when I was in school, if your jeans had holes in the wrong place, you'd be sent home.
Yeah,
Yep.
same. I got sent home for that a lot.
Yeah. That was one of those things. Now, stupidly, when I was a kid, if you had an earring, boys couldn't have an earring in the handbook.
Same.
Yeah. Now that changed later when I was in high school, but listen to this and tell me what you think, because I can see the arguments here. The mom of a middle school student in New York is taking legal action after her son was disciplined for saying there are two genders. According to a complaint, a middle school student for East Aurora was suspended for 5 days and was told part of the reason was because he expressed his belief there were two genders. So what happened?
A radical idea.
Well, it is crazy, right? He didn't disrupt school activities or target any specific individual with his remark, but he was given a disciplinary notice of violent conduct. According to the complaint, he was charged with violating the Student Code of Conduct, which prohibits speech that demeans or denigrates others. The defendants claim that the words were violence was a pretext to justify him being punished by the school. So my question is, this is newer stuff that we're talking about. And I think we're all trying to wade through and figure the world
Figure it
out.
out.
Right. And nobody that I know wants to be an asshole to people just to be an asshole to
100%.
people, right?
Right.
So we're all trying to figure
I
out.
know a couple. I feel
Well,
like.
I do. All right, I might know a couple. Okay, but I'm saying that we all want to find what the right balance and how to respect everyone
Right.
is.
Right.
But I do think some people look. I did it in my rant Friday. All right, you male, female, trans, maybe a turtle. No. I'm not respecting you for turtle pronouns. It's not ever going to happen. That's silly to me. But
Have
so,
you dropped your platypus?
You're right. No, I'm still a platypus. But my question is, because this is newer stuff that people are dealing with, and some people are still, not sure how they feel about it. And up until now, biology said, and a matter of fact, I still believe. Let's not forget gender. There's two sexes.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I don't,
However you want to
put
say
gender
that.
out of the
Right.
However
However you wanna say it.
Okay, but there are only two sexes.
Right.
As a human being.
Right.
Okay, that's fact.
No
right?
matter how many ways.
So
you wanna
I
split.
get that. But do you think that if someone just says that, not to, as it clearly articulated, he wasn't attacking anyone, he wasn't denigrating anyone, wasn't being mean, they were just having that class conversation.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a subjective opinion. How can you be, penalized for something that is, it's just it's an opinion that everybody has a different one. There's not
right. There's no consensus
Yeah.
right now, and I think that science doesn't have a consensus on that. So a lot of people are asking. Even scientists are asking this question.
So, can you imagine
Clergymen
an 8th grader
ask-
for
yeah. So you got a kid here trying to figure out life, and
Right.
and maybe he's just spitting out what Dad said.
Yeah.
It happens,
Right.
Well, that's
But either way, it's still something we're in a discussion about. So it
Right.
seems. If you're not trying to hurt someone, wrong to me to punish them.
yeah, 100%.
No, it's not like you ask, is it okay to not like people of other colors? No, that's no,
right.
bro. You're out. Yeah, get out. You're
Right,
done. You're
right.
toast. You're by.
Well, and I feel like that's what they equate it to, and it's like,
but
it's
I'm not
that.
sure
It's, not
it's the
that.
same.
It's
I
not.
don't know that it is.
No, because that one is hateful, and
Well,
one is
sure.
not.
One
And
is
it's like,
more question.
yeah, it's
I
like,
don't get
dude,
it.
I'm not trying to be hateful to anybody. If I say anything, it's out
Well,
of ignorance,
first of all,
not hatefulness.
First of
Like,
all, I could walk out this door right now, meet a lovely lady with a full beard and a penis, and shake her hand and say hi and go on with my day, and I'm just fine.
no worries.
I don't give a damn. Okay, that's your life. You live your life. But there are still. It's reasonable to have questions.
right?
I mean,
It's reasonable to have conversations, right?
Yeah.
I would think so.
I mean, I just don't.
How else do we come to understand without
Exactly.
having those
Well,
conversations?
you just do what you're told. Isn't
And that's
that
the
how-
answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the answer. They just want you to.
You
abide.
just do what you're told, and that's the way to do it, right?
Right.
Isn't it? All right, enough of that. We've got actually a guest here. I'm going to
we
do
got
a
him
spot while y'all swap out here
Yeah,
real quick. So very quickly, let me mention to you that if you go over to Stone's Throw today, you can take advantage of 14 beers they've got on tap, and they've got everything you can imagine, from regular beer to flavored beers to, anything you can think of. Now, it's over at 402 East 9th Street, and today would be a perfect day for the patio. Go over, get you some Slater's Alaskan dumplings, get you a nice craft beer, and just go over and enjoy Stone's Throat. Tell Theron that we sent you over there and get 10% off for doing it. So sitting here, welcome, Jamie. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
I've been excited for you to get here and talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you've got going. We've been talking a little bit about some of the clean living and stuff like that. And so I just kind of want to know more about what that means, how you implement it with the people you're helping, and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I actually, within the last year, became a personal trainer and a certified.
Got certified.
Yeah, certified nutrition
Shut your mouth.
coach. So that basically means I took the NASM test, the National
Okay.
Academy of Sports Medicine.
Yeah.
And so with that, I've been helping some clients, I guess you'd say, but mostly personal friends and family. And just to try to help everybody be a little bit happier, healthier, and better off.
Yeah.
So-
So what have you learned, or some of the things you've learned that maybe, people wouldn't think about or wouldn't consider that can make life better for them?
I think there's a lot of misconceptions as far as people think that they need to go run for 2 hours every day to lose weight, or that they have to starve themselves to lose fat. And in reality, there's a lot of small things that you can do every day that makes a bigger impact than even those things. Just walking and actually eating enough. People don't eat enough. People don't move their bodies enough. So I think just learning the actual science behind things and not just what you hear or see on social media or fads, things that are actually, helpful.
Is it factual that if, some people do eat too little and that the body will hold everything because you're not getting enough and therefore you won't get the result you want? Is that accurate?
That is absolutely accurate. A lot of people undereat. Or really, it's more of that they're not moving their body as well.
Right.
Not actually getting their steps in every day. But most people should be eating more protein, more food, moving more, and that actually sends your body into a fat burning. It increases your metabolism. Whereas if you don't eat enough, your body has this, I have to hold on and store everything that I've.
So talk about, talking about clean eating is different than veganism. It's different than anything out there, really. What is clean eating?
Clean eating is knowing that the food isn't overly processed. That's a big part of it, and that's very hard to come by these days.
It is,
Everything
isn't it?
is quick, convenient. The industry knows what they're doing, and they want you to buy the food, and they want you to overeat. And so clean eating is going to be organic. It's going to be whole foods. It's going to be things that are not super processed. And those types of things, your body, it helps so much with your heart, with your blood pressure, with just the way you feel every day.
What is it in the processed foods that is the negative?
So with processed foods, the big part of it is they strip it of its nutritional value. If you have, there's a big difference in having the nutrition that you get from whole foods like fruits and vegetables. There really isn't very much nutritional value in something that you buy that's processed. Even if you take chicken, something that simple, if it's very processed, you're not getting eggs, especially. You're not getting all of the vitamins and
The
minerals that
protein
your body
values
needs.
and things.
The protein value.
Yeah. So, do you, if you're coaching someone, do you recommend them transition slowly to clean? If they're going to say, I want to try the clean eating thing and see how that makes me feel better, do you encourage them to transition to that or just jump in it? How do you approach even considering that?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I tell everybody that the number one thing, because there is so much that goes into losing weight, feeling good, being healthy.
Right.
So just first and foremost, I say start focusing on how much calories you are intaking and how much protein you are intaking. And then you can gradually get to where you're picking the right proteins or picking the clean eating, as they would say. But whenever I first would get a client, I don't want to overwhelm them and say everything you have to eat has to be organic broccoli.
No, it's too much of a shock, right?
It's too much of a shock. But as somebody starts to go to the gym or go on walks, starts to pay attention to the food that they are eating, they start to feel better, and then they start to become more interested in narrowing down exactly what foods they need to eat.
And it, it's so easy to see the difference, and I'll tell you how. If you go to lunch and you come back and at about 2 o'clock you feel like it's time to lay down on the desk, you ate processed food. Right. That's the bottom line. That's exactly what you had.
It is true.
I recently learned that our pasta here is very different. So you eat pasta here and you get a fat ass because it's got stuff sprayed on it that is not like it. You wonder why Italians eat a lot of pasta and they're not fat? 'Cause they're not. It's because it doesn't have that on there, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, there's a huge difference when you can order pasta that is from Italy that's not made here, and you can eat it and you won't feel like you're going to go to sleep in an hour. You feel fine.
So a big part would be like insulin resistance or things that spike your insulin levels. So that's a big part of a lot of these foods that are overly processed, have a lot of sugar, they lack fiber. So your body responds in a very negative way after eating those foods.
Yeah.
One way you could combat that is even just a 10-minute walk after every meal.
Right.
Goes a very long way with helping your body fight off that insulin resistance.
Right.
Nice.
So, look, if now that you're a trainer, right, you're a personal trainer, if I wanted to, let's say, work with you, and let's say I start next Monday, right, you could help me put together kind of a reasonable starting menu plan to get my calories right, so I can finish the last leg of my journey because I've done a really good job, I feel like, over the past year and a half, 2 years of getting my weight down. But I also know that keeping it down is problematic because I need to make some fundamental changes, not just reducing what I eat, but changing what I eat and some of the other things in order to, because that last few pounds I want to get off seems, I want to be like Dustyn over here. I want to be that guy. I want to be svelte and fit. I want to wear a 34 in my pants. I hadn't seen a 34 since I was 13. And I'd like to see that before I die and wither away and have to be a skeleton. So, if let's say that we start that, next week, what time frame do you think it would take for me to say lose 35 more pounds? Ballpark. I mean, I know it's different with every human and metabolism.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I would say on average, a pound a week can be very common. If I took you on as a client, the first thing I would do was give you daily tools to help you make and facilitate that change.
Like duct tape to cover my fat mouth.
You guys were talking a little earlier just about utilizing apps and how amazing they can be. So just to give you tools, first of all, things like there's the Yuka app that's becoming really
What is it?
popular. It's an app where you can search a food or scan the food
What's
if you're in
the
the
name,
grocery
though?
store. Yuka, Y-U-K-A. It looks like a carrot.
Yuka.
Okay.
Okay, Y-U-K-A. And so you can scan food in the grocery store, and what does it tell me about it?
So it's going to it's going to rate it on a scale of 100 and tell you if it has any additives. That's a big part that we use it for, and it can give you just a quick summary. And something I like to do as well is you can search before you go to the store. Like, let's say I know, if you have a breakfast sandwich every morning and you're trying to make a quick change, but you don't want to spend a lot of time doing the in-depth research and looking up all the ingredients, you can just type in, breakfast sandwich, and you can look up, like, what's the best rated, and it can tell you where to buy it. Or if you're in the store and you want to buy orange juice and you scan that, and it's a very poor score, maybe it has way too much sugar, additives, then it'll give you a safe alternative that's probably right there beside it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that is good. That is good because my go-to this coming Monday was just to cut bread and sugar again for a while, which is huge.
Right.
Because those, if you could combine, well, they do. It's called a donut, and it's my favorite. It's the best thing in the world to me, and that's the problem.
Well-
I'm trying to unlearn these behaviors that
It's hard.
it is hard because you think, whatever you're addicted to, I think processed food is the most addictive thing on the planet.
Yeah, on purpose, too.
Oh, no, on
Well,
purpose.
sure.
I want to just ask real quick here and step in because my Achilles heel is that, of course, I'm a dad of a 6-year-old. So we have all that, sugar and processed cereals and everything because that's what he wants, And obviously, I've got a million things going on. I'm not going to cook 2 separate meals every night, one for me and one that I know he's going to eat. How can I incorporate healthy eating and make it kid-friendly where he's gonna want it?
It's a good one.
That is a very good one. So you have to actually kind of change something in the brain that happens over time of gradually taking out processed foods.
Okay.
They put things in them that make them very addicting. They're actually
Especially to
continuing
kids.
Yeah.
to ramp that up, especially with seeing things like GLP-1s and all these things that are making people be able to curb their appetite. They are just increasing how great everything tastes. The more sugar, the better.
Yeah, that's how they're like
releases
combating
dopamine
Ozempic.
receptors in the brain. So for kids specifically, it is hard if you're not able to cook because it's hard to get a kid to want to eat their fruits and veggies. So doing something like a smoothie, those are really fast.
Okay.
And that can be really good transitions for breakfast. Things like yogurt, that's fast. And there's actually a lot of granola out there that is fairly healthy.
Okay.
And it's just using something like maybe the Yuka app or asking somebody like myself to give you a few. I can walk in the grocery store and pick out foods that taste pretty good.
Right.
And they have cleaner ingredients. Even if it's chicken nuggets, there are chicken nuggets in the grocery store in the freezer section that scan pretty well and that kids will eat, but they're not overly processed.
Wow. Okay.
And honestly, I mean, I shop at Walmart, but I will say that there are things that's harder to find at some of your grocery stores that people shop at daily, and I don't think that that's kind of feel like that's on purpose sometimes.
Right.
Right.
But you could maybe go to Amazon or places like
Amazon,
that, right?
Target, there are the Kroger, there are places, and even at Walmart you can, but it may be a little bit more challenging.
What about the? Sorry to interrupt you,
No, you're
but
fine.
what about the meal programs that are out there, like the Blue Chefs, the Every Plates, things like that? Are those healthy options or not really? You know?
So they can be.
Okay.
And what I do whenever, because we've used some apps like that, like let's take the Factor.
Yeah.
That's a really popular one.
Okay.
Factor meals.
The biggest thing is it's going to be a little processed, but you can still get them without a lot of additives. It's the sodium content that's the biggest killer on those.
Okay.
So whenever you're searching the meals, it'll give you the breakdown of the ingredients, and the two things I'll look at pretty quickly is just what's the sodium content and make sure it has a decent amount of protein in it, and you can actually get a pretty fairly healthy meal out of that.
Nice.
So, obviously sodium or salt can increase your blood pressure. We know that. But what are the other detriments of that to you? Why is that sodium count so important?
So inflammation is a big thing, and you're right, just heart health. Over time, it affects your body tremendously. Sodium gets a bad rep. It's actually, you do need it. It helps you retain water. Your body, it's a natural thing that we produce.
Well, yeah, we're 98% water, so yeah.
But we just overconsume it, and you see a lot of people have detriments to their health
Right.
because everything we eat has an insane amount of sodium, and that goes back to the whole processed.
Yeah, sugar and salt and everything, right?
It's in everything, and high.
And you'd
It's
be amazed at
unnecessary.
what all it's in. I mean, it's in spaghetti sauce. It's in so many different
But-
things that there's lots of sugar in.
There are healthy sugars, though, right?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
So
question.
that is a really good question. Whole foods, like fruits, they carry a higher sugar content, but the fiber in the fruit allows your body to break that sugar down at a reasonable rate. Therefore, it doesn't spike your insulin as much. And whereas if you have sugar in like a Snickers bar or a candies, there's no nutritional value and there's no fiber in that candy bar.
But
so
it
your
satisfies.
insulin- it satisfies.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Okay, so but is there, like, you see people try raw sugar or this sugar or that sugar? Are they all basically processed and still the same challenge ultimately?
Yes, I recommend natural sweeteners like honey. Honey, and still in moderation. I mean, you're still going to have issues with insulin resistance, which can lead to Alzheimer's and things like that if you had a lot of honey all day long.
Right, because we know that Alzheimer's is diabetes type 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that matters.
But in smaller doses, or just to help with a little bit of a craving, some Greek yogurt with some healthy granola, a little bit of honey can go a long way in the evenings.
And that might not sound great off the bat, but they're, like you said, if you find the right stuff, you can really make it good. 'Cause I love cereal, like switching to granola and yogurt. That was hard for me, but she found the right stuff where it's like, damn, this is appetizing, and wow, I don't feel like shit after I eat it. Like,
Well, and that's what my problem is, and I imagine this is, well, there's two big problems for people, I think, at least for me. Time, and I love things that are sweet because that's how I mean, look, as a kid, you're rewarded with sweet, right? I mean, that's
your brain's
that's how it
wired.
works. So my brain is wired. I like things that taste like that.
I feel
but
like I'm
but
getting
I
ruled.
know that I don't want to. I need to trick my brain so it feels like it's getting that, but it's something better.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
because I'm weak.
at least you're honest. At least you're honest.
You hear me, Clapper?
Yeah, clapper.
it takes time. It definitely doesn't happen overnight. It probably took me over a year to really weed out, and to this day I will have certain sweets. You can still lose weight and still eat junk food. I know that's
No,
contradictory for
in
me
moderation,
to say.
like anything else, you don't have to give up on life. That was my next question is, some of us like eating. It's social.
Right.
You do it with your significant other while you're watching shows or
you look
whatever.
forward to it at the end of the
You-
day.
You do, and you love what you love, and so that's what you dig. And so that's a big shift for a lot of people is how do you still love, sharing food socially and love what you're eating, but it be healthier?
So one thing that I could help a client with is there's a couple of different directions you can go. You can still eat just about whatever you want, but if you are active, if you're keeping up with your calorie intake, and you're hitting your protein goals, you can still be a very fit, a very, a very happy, look good, lose weight person. But you can also go the route of, I don't want to just stop there. I
Right.
want to have extra years on my life. I want to feel really good when I wake up.
Right.
They are two different things. I mean, ultimately, to lose body fat, it's all about
Calories.
It's all about calories.
Yeah, abs are calories. That's the only way you get there is
There is
calories,
no
right?
spot, right, that's right. You can't just spot reduce fat. That's a common misconception. If I do crunches every day, I'm going to lose the belly
No,
fat.
actually, you'll build up your muscle, which could make your fat look
Yeah,
prominent.
push it out more.
Good. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, you have to actually be in a calorie deficit. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
most
it.
simple, that's it. And that's why the things like GLP-1s and things work so well is because
Right.
it just completely, you don't have an appetite. So
Right.
we've all watched
And I've
Survivor.
thought about-
We know what happens if you don't
Right.
eat for...
No, that's why I wanted to be on Survivor. I'll lose this
Cut
last
the
30
20, yeah.
I'll drop this 30, no problem, man. You eat twigs and berries.
Right.
It's going to happen.
It'll work, that's right.
Yeah, no, it'll happen.
But how good are you going to feel? How long is that going to last?
And what kind
You
of fuel
want-
is it?
and what
That's
kind
the
of
other
fuel
thing.
is it?
Right.
That's the other thing too. Just like I was talking about when you eat lunch and then you come back and you want to sleep on the desk for an hour.
Right.
But it's because that was not the appropriate fuel.
Right.
I mean, really, you put a bunch of shit in the tank and you got about no far. And so if you eat the right things, then you don't get that feeling, right? You don't need a 5-hour energy because you don't have that 2:00 crash
Right,
coming, right?
No, absolutely. That's a great analogy.
Okay.
Just the vehicle analogy of what are you fueling yourself with? It's, just imagine your body like a machine. How long do you want it to last, and
Yeah.
how well do you want it to run?
So in car terms, I would think to some extent that eating processed foods all the time is kind of akin to you starting to get buildup in the valves,
Right.
Right.
of your pistons, and at some point that's going to become a problem. It's not going to be able to move appropriately, and I would think that your body might be similar in ways.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Man, this is excellent information. I do want to share a couple things that people are saying. Tasha said, oh my God, I need to hire her. I've gained so much weight since having my son, and being home, I don't like going out because I don't like how I look. I went to the gym, but I don't even know where to start, you know?
Hit me up.
Yeah, hit her up for sure. Brad said, I lost 130 pounds in 2021 by walking and cutting carbs, calories, making sure I burned more than I consumed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is the
Nailed it.
basic.
Simple math, yeah.
And,
At a basic level, absolutely. It's
yeah,
that simple.
that is a basic formula. Now, what that's going to do is it will help you get to a starting point, believe it or not, to get healthier. You know, the first step, I know, and I'm not that guy, you know, I'm not that guy. But when I lost 100 pounds and I did not understand, because it'd been so long, the impact of just the weight.
Right.
You know, just the weight on your knees, on your back, on the way you feel. Because I that 100 pounds more, stupidly, I would try to park in as close to the front because I didn't want to walk that far. You understand? I didn't want to walk, so I'll drive around 6 times.
Right. And wait for
Spend
that
12 minutes for that spot, so I don't have to walk that far. Right now, I'm like, no, I'll park further back, because I do want to walk.
Right.
You know, I feel better. I feel like my knees my ankles aren't feeling like, you know, oh my God, it's too
Screaming
much.
at you, yeah.
Yeah, and so but that didn't make me healthy. It made me healthier.
Right.
It made me prepared to get healthy.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to take that turn, lose the last weight, and shift so I don't ever have to fight my weight again. I'm tired of the fight. And I think that's when Brad says, yeah, I went out and walked. You know, you might think, well, it sounds easy, doesn't it, when Brad says it? Yeah, it does. But I think that what Brad really did before that is he made that decision. He was tired of fighting it.
Right.
He's sick and tired of being sick and tired. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
You're like, I can't, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm in a loop.
Right.
It ain't working for me. You
Right.
know?
That's a very good point. And if you're only basically starving yourself or you're under eating the calories and you lose all that weight, it is really hard to maintain that. You know, there are certain diets that work well. You know, people talk a lot about ketogenic diets and veganism and all of these things. And in the short term, yeah, if you're cutting out carbs, you're cutting out sugar, it is going to reduce the weight, but it is making actual changes that you're enjoying in your day-to-day life that's going to allow you to, it's like a lifestyle change.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people that lose the weight do struggle keeping it off.
Well, it's scary. It's scary because we're so social in the way we eat that you're like, man, am I going to be that guy that shows up at the party that doesn't want to eat the appetizer?
Right.
You know, am I going to be that asshole? You know, nobody's going to want to hang out with me because I'm eating chicken, you know, grilled.
And I'll say it is a lot funner to take part in social eating when you've been eating clean all week.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You feel a less guilt.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the thing to know is that it's not a matter of giving it up permanently or forever. It's a matter of eating those things in the right
Balance.
amount and proportion to the rest of, you know, so if you have, I'm guessing, you tell me, but I'm guessing if you spent 6 days eating clean and good, that on that 7th day, if you wanted to have a cheat meal, so to speak, that's acceptable.
You can, yeah.
You know, or maybe it's just a small thing every couple days or so that you reward yourself with. Is that?
Oh, absolutely. And to each person, it's whatever works for you. And as long as every day you're just striving to do the best, then it will all eventually culminate, and that lifestyle change will happen. And having either a buddy or a partner that you can kind of lean on helps tremendously, because it is hard to go at it alone.
It is hard. It's like smoking or whatever.
Absolutely. It's
hard to quit if your other partner smokes.
Most people in the world today really battle, and it is hard to find someone who is becoming more like-minded and who is wanting to do clean eating. So that's where I think having someone, if you don't have that person in your life, having a personal trainer or reaching out and asking for help can be huge.
All right, we've got a few questions here. Number one, Brandon said, what about a carnivore diet?
Yep, so I think that a carnivore diet is really nice in the sense that you're getting your protein. That's huge. The only thing with a carnivore diet is it can be hard to maintain long term. It can be very hard to completely cut carbs because you're going to lose some vitamins. There's a lot of different, in fruits and vegetables and in carbs specifically, there are a lot of nutrients that you need every day. And so if you are on a carnivore diet, I think that that's okay, as long as you know your body and you know what you are lacking in that diet and you
you
are
can supplement
supplementing
it.
somehow. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's, people do try diets and they don't pay attention to what they've cut out and try to supplement it in some form.
Somebody hold me on vitamins and supplements.
Okay.
Next question was, do you believe in heavy metal and parasite cleaning? Is that something that you think is valuable?
So I am a fan of detoxing, and I'm not sure that necessarily it completely falls. I'm not personally super familiar with parasite cleansing, but I do know that for the most part, if you go to your primary care physician and you're having yearly checkups and you make sure they can test you for things like that you can do a sample, and there's really no need in doing that type of cleanse if it's not an ailment that you have.
The other thing is, it's a myth that you walk around with 20 years of poop on your intestines. Okay, that's
Absolutely.
not true.
Right, yeah, that's not real.
If that was true, you wouldn't be pooping. You'd be in the hospital. I know this because my mom has Crohn's disease, and
Yeah.
she's been there. Okay?
Exactly.
Where the system backs up, and you ain't got a plunger. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, and that's, you're right. And on that though, something that can be very beneficial, and just make sure that you know your body and that you're a healthy enough individual to do this.
Yeah.
But you can do like a 72-hour fast, and that is enough to increase stem cell production and decrease inflammation and kind of do a reset on your body.
You said, say that's 3 days.
That's 3 days. But
Dude, she did that. She did that last year. Nothing but water. And I'm supposed to eat supper without feeling guilty or horrible. You
Yeah,
know?
man, I couldn't even look at you and eat. I'd have to hide.
Bro, she is such a trooper because she knocked that thing out, dude.
72 hours,
Yeah.
man.
bone broth and something.
Bone
like
broth
that.
and water.
But you know what? I shouldn't be frightened of this, but
Right.
that immediately made me go,
Yeah.
3 days? Come on. Yeah, no, that's scary. Now, so coming back to vitamins and supplements a little bit, I understand that most of the vitamins, like the one-a-days or things like that, most of it doesn't get absorbed.
That's a good point.
So what is, if you're going to supplement yourself with certain vitamins, if that's not being absorbed, what is a better way to do it?
Of course, I'm going to go to the eating your 3 servings of fruits and veggies every day to really get
Right.
But for the most part,
But if you're on the carnivore diet, let's
Yeah.
say, how would you supplement yourself with something that's going to absorb?
so knowing there are better times of the day to ingest vitamins, there are certain vitamins that are fat soluble and water soluble.
Okay.
So knowing what you have on your stomach when you are taking these vitamins is important to make sure you are actually absorbing them. If it's a fat soluble vitamin and you haven't really had any fat, you're probably missing out on some of the absorption content.
Okay.
But for the most part, you will get what you need from them. I think that I'm not as big of a fan of the gummies because you don't always know exactly. They have a hard time testing exactly
and
regulating that.
Yeah.
So I would just do your research, ask your primary care physician or someone that is experienced in making sure that it's tailored to you, because that's another thing, a misconception is I just need to go take all these different vitamins, when in reality you may not be lacking in any of them, or you may be lacking in a very specific vitamin that you can just have some blood work done at your
Yeah, I was
doctor.
going to say, yeah, you can get and they're not very expensive, to be honest. You can get a panel screen or whatever they call it, get your blood drawn, and it'll give you a breakdown of what you've got and where you're short, right?
Absolutely, and I highly recommend that.
Something ideally too, if you can afford it, is it's about $400 is a genetics test.
Oh, yeah.
To find out what you are naturally deficient in.
I've been wanting to do that because they say those really show you where
100%.
your, trials and tribulations
Yep.
are, the things that you need specifically.
Yep. And then from there, you can dictate what can I get out of my food and what do I need to supplement with a vitamin or another form.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, no, that is helpful. Now, let's say that somebody wants to contact you about some, training, and I'm sure that many do. And you could just say, "Google me, bitch." I know, but how should they reach you? How should they get a hold of you?
So right now, the best place would probably be my Facebook account, Jamie Bundrick, Bundrick. And you can message me on there. I'm sure they could, hit you guys up on here too.
Yeah,
Contact
absolutely.
information.
If you need contact information, you can reach out to us as well. But Jamie Bundrick on Facebook is the best way to go, and you can inbox her or comment on something or whatever to.
Or even comment on this podcast. and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep my eye on the comment section.
That'd be great. Yeah, if you're interested, she'll reach out. Just comment on the stream here. She says she's going to look at it and reach out to you. So say, "Hey, Jamie, I'm interested in talking to you about this. Maybe you can help me out."
Amanda Parker says, "Fix me."
Yeah. Well, I'm saying the same thing. So, why don't I really am serious because I know I've put back on 7 pounds. That's not a lot, but I know what I'm doing. I'm in a cycle again. I've lost this weight, but now I'm in a cycle again where I'm too comfortable because I felt good, and now I'm relaxed again, and I'm eating the wrong stuff. I need to get right.
Yep. And so one of the number one things that allows people to see success, and they've done this in studies and clinical trials, the people who track and keep up with it,
Yeah.
they have the most success. It's mental too. I mean, you have
So-
to really want it and be ready, but there are tools that I can give you to help really keep you tracking it, keep you paying attention, and really help with the success.
All right, I want to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
And if you can tell me no, but my thinking is it might be because look, everybody, it's hard to make these calls, but if you see somebody else doing it, sometimes it's helpful. If it's somebody else you dig or you think are decent people,
Right.
you like or whatever. So what if you help me and then, every week or two you come in and I'll get on a scale. We'll talk about whatever. We'll talk about my intake. I'll report to you through whatever app you want to show what calories I'm putting in, or
Hell yeah.
follow your advice on what I'm supposed to do, walking or anything else that you suggest. I'll just let you make a map for me, and then you periodically come in. We evaluate what's happening and how I'm feeling and how you're coaching, and that might be helpful for people to see
hell
and
yeah.
be
Absolutely.
somewhat inspiring to them.
For sure.
Would
For
do you
sure.
think so?
Yeah. I
Would you
think
be
so.
willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Well, let's do that then.
Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome because I'm tired of fighting myself, and I know what I need to do. I just need a better map to get there than my own because it keeps leading me back to donut. God damn donuts. I love it. They're so
Little Debbie
good.
knows what she's doing. Little Debbie knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to get in touch with her, has trouble finding her on Facebook, I just copied your Facebook link and posted it in all the comment chats on YouTube
Awesome,
and Facebook,
awesome,
so they can
awesome,
click
awesome.
right there to get to you.
Awesome. Well, I'm certainly so thankful you came in because now I'm super excited to look forward to Monday and try to not just eat everything the rest of the week because I know I'm starting Monday. So I'm going to try real hard to be good, I'm not going to promise that, but I'm going to do my best, And so, maybe sometime
then Marcia just
before
said-
the end of the week, we'll get together on the phone or whatever, text, and we can kind of start the plan. So Monday, I can say, all right, Jamie's here's my plan. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to tell everybody.
Right.
This is what I weigh.
So,
This is what I'm supposed to do. This is how much I'm supposed to eat.
Right.
And I'm going to ask everybody to hold me accountable.
Hell yeah,
include
dude.
at home. And,
Hell yeah.
You
and I
know,
think if there's to add some extra, maybe something to this in
Yeah.
case you, fall short on something, maybe Jamie gets a, extra spin on the wheel of pain.
Oh, yeah.
that's a great idea, Rich.
I'm just saying, man,
You know,
you want to be held accountable,
yeah.
let's go all in.
I know Amanda was working on the Wheel of Pain to get it outfitted. This is a great idea. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate you.
Digging yourself a hole.
You, and I hate that wheel. But he's right. I should be punished if I miss the goal for the
Oh,
week.
man, I love it.
So I'll accept that. I'll
love
accept
it.
that. that when I do my check-in, and if Jamie says, "Hey, you didn't hit what you're supposed to," I'll spin the wheel and take
she
that.
gets to spin the wheel.
Well, she can spin the wheel. That's
Yeah,
fine.
man. She gets to come in.
Tasha can spin it. Little doggy can spin it.
Anybody.
Rapper can spin it. I don't care. Okay? Anybody that wants to spin it. All right? Is that fair?
Yeah, that'll
Jesus
work.
Christ, man. He's trying to do something here.
Oh, man.
That head. All right.
I like that shirt you got on, Jamie. You're representing today. Representing.
What's it?
Bundy
What are you?
Electric.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got the
Bundy Town, baby.
Advertisement.
Brandon said, "I eat whatever I want, never gain weight. I'm blessed." And you know what? That can be true. Some people have what
They're
I call
lucky.
metabolism of the gods.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't gain weight. Some people are unhappy. I have a friend who's very unhappy about that.
Yeah.
That they can't gain weight.
Yeah.
You know. But
I have one
whether
of those
you
metabolisms where I look at a Snickers bar and gain 10 pounds.
Right. Even though your metabolism is great, it doesn't negate the fact that if you're putting the wrong fuel in, it can still cause you havoc. Just because you don't outwardly look it doesn't mean it might internally be doing things.
You just said it right there. You got to separate outwardly looking fat or skinny and living healthy because it's
Yeah.
two different things.
Look,
Two different things.
I'll
Just
tell
because
you
you're skinny
right
don't mean
now,
you're healthy.
I'm going to tell you there's a 99% chance if you had to bet all of your paycheck on me to develop abs, I'll tell you don't do it. I'm probably never going to have that, okay? So that's not my goal. I do want to fit in a 34 and look good,
Right.
but I don't need to have the flattest stomach. I don't need to have, you know, you bounce a
You want a
quarter
nice
off
dad
my
bod.
ass or whatever. You know, I just want to be healthier and a better weight so I can fit in cooler clothes. You know what I mean? Like anybody else.
Yeah, that's the motivation. It's cool clothes.
Well, sure, man. I mean, you know, you go to the store and you look at those pants and you're like, oh, those are cool, but not on a fat guy.
Then you put them on. You're
Not
like,
on my ass. It's not. No, or you know,
He wants to move out of the husky section.
yeah, that's correct. Sure.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I'd like to not shop for plus size clothes. I am down to an XL in a shirt, which is not crazy.
No,
but
that's
I bet,
badass, bro.
But it's good,
Shut
man.
up.
That's
man.
badass,
What are you, a
dude.
medium?
Yeah,
There it is.
Medium.
Medium right there. No, I need to be, you know, I look at Tyler sometimes and I'm like, he weighs 180. Now get it, he's 22, right?
Right.
But I'm like, that's where I'm supposed to, he's the same height. I'm supposed to be like that. And I'm looking at him going, man, if I tried to put that shirt on, I'd just hurt his feelings. You know, it'd be right here, it'd be a half shirt on me, and that's embarrassing.
Dude, I feel like you do have a good daily like reminder of
I
like
do.
you live with this like you know
Right.
perfect young male kid
Like a model walking.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude never puts a shirt on unless he has to go to work. He puts a shirt on. Otherwise, I'm like, dude, stop it, man. Just come on, man. I can't even see.
the luxury
it.
I've never had just to freely walk around without a shirt on and not be self-conscious.
No, that's what I mean. If I told him if I looked like you, I'd wear a tie to work and nothing else.
Yeah, every day.
Tie and pants. Pants, but no shirt, just a tie.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you can look at this.
Yep.
But I won't.
You'd be
That's
having
not
more
him.
conversations with your boss about your emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. Let me mention a couple things before we go. First of all, go to BANTX. BANTX, that's Botanical Alchemy Nutraceuticals. Now, they might be able to help you hand in hand with what Jamie's talking about with CBD, because CBD can help you dramatically with inflammation, okay? And that's something that you fight. You know, in your health, it may prevent you from being able to fully work out or do that walk you want, or maybe even the foods you're eating aren't helping with that, but CBD can help you. But if you just go to every gas station in America and buy that, you don't know what you're getting.
All right.
I swear to God, you do not. You would be shocked to know the stuff that's in these things at times. But if you go to BANTX.com, they custom curate sublingual CBD. That means you put a drop under your tongue, your body absorbs 80% of it, not the 20% from a pill or a gummy. All right? And if you put in PATP 25, you're going to get 25% off of that. So that's awesome. Also, be sure and check out my buddy Josh Taylor at First Horizon. If you're looking for someone to help you get a great financing plan for your home, I work with him all the time. Josh Taylor at First Horizon is the guy you want to see. If you're looking for an announcer, you better look no further than Rich
Yeah.
Rockwell. He is the
fall.
guy you want. One fall. If you're looking for electrical service,
Yeah, hit me up.
Bundy.
Yeah.
And listen, if you need some help getting yourself situated, as I'm about to, then reach out to Jamie Bundrick. Okay. And please like us on YouTube, share us, tell everybody
Hey,
about us. We're thankful for you.
Tomorrow, some big news, man.
What's up?
Tomorrow is our 100th episode.
Is it really?
Hell yeah.
People, man.
That's dope, man. That is dope. That is dope, man.
Let's go.
100th episode tomorrow, so be here for that.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be awesome, man. We'll see
See
you
you
next
guys
time.
later.